Benjamin Netanyahu, and now they're getting now. Yeah, they did.
Guys, in the middle of a war.
It's a genocide.
Adam, it's a war leader. We had to do it.
You know, 60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We understand it. We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are gonna have a pro-Palestinian.
Also, don't these guys? Doesn't Hasan constantly post tweets from drop site, and they interview Hamas people like all the fucking time? Like what they, or they'll source Hamas people. Hasan clip. Wow, I love Hasan clip. It's not like we got enough of those today.
There are two grave threats to Israel's existence, right? And it's not fucking Iran or Hezbollah or Hamas or anything like that.
Guys.
Okay,
They just want peace.
the greatest threat to Israel's existence is Israelis themselves being like, yeah, fuck this shit. I don't feel safe here at all. I'm leaving. I'm going back to Brooklyn. I'm leaving. I'm going to France. I'm leaving. I'm going to fucking the UK. When more and more liberal Israelis, who are themselves most likely bloodthirsty as well, okay, in terms of like how Israel has dealt with Gaza or...
Bro, you know why Israelis don't want to go to the West? It's because of fucking retards like you who are completely fucking encouraging and completely just ambivalent, it seems, towards the fact that your audience and the people who you surround yourself with actually just think that being Israeli by default makes you a target. What the fuck? It's also not to mention that being a Jew as a minority is one thing, okay? And things in the West have kind of improved a little bit in the last 100 years, good bit, in large part because, well, coincidentally, after a shitload of the Jews died or left in most of these places. I don't know if that's really a coincidence. But there's a whole thing where Israelis who live under rocket fire and sirens and the potential stabbing and all that kind of shit in Israel, the reason they don't just get up and leave and go to Europe is because they still believe, and it's a kind of an understandable feeling, is that that threat is still like worth it compared to, one, obviously leaving your home, but two, being like an alien in another country and like constantly worrying about your minority status being used against you. Whereas like all those kind of like microaggressions piling up as an Israeli Jew living in Europe or America is maybe even just like seen as less favorable than living in Israel, worried about rockets. So. But also the fact that the majority, again, the ones who would be most likely to leave would be Ashkenazi. Where are the Mizrahi Jews going to go? And then the problem there is that these like Ashkenazi Jews, who tend to be the more liberal ones, so they're more likely to leave for multiple reasons, you're just going to leave behind the more extreme ones, the radicals, the fucking Ben Gvir, the Netanyahu supporters, the Ethiopian Jews who en masse, the majority voted for Netanyahu in the last election, by the way. So if you want a more aggressive Israel, go for it, Hasan, yeah.
Or whatever. But they don't like the negative consequences of Israel doing that, which is like the Iron Dome and its security perishing. You are left with a country that is packed to the fucking gills with the most inbred, uneducated, ultra...
They would be Mizrahi. They're the ones. They're the ones who are the least likely to be leaving. Yeah, that is that. They're the right wingers, you know, the Arab Jews. They were once called.
For nationalists, rabid Haredi population, and like...
Okay. I know he's referring to Haredi, but what he doesn't realize is being much more strongly implied there is that Mizrahi Jews would be the ones who would stay more likely in larger numbers. And
1,000 people.
Holy fuck, 41.
Hold on, I'm going to turn on the camera.
What's up, my old friend?
All right.
Hasan,
how was the bachelor party?
What's up?
good to meet you over Discord.
Yeah, you're the last Nelk standing that I have not met.
Let me formally introduce you guys.
Who else have you met? You met Steve?
Okay. All right. So I haven't seen what you guys did, but
Wait, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
now he's too quiet. What the fuck?
That's what you got to say.
God.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you also say hello to my friend Kyle here?
What's up, Kyle?
What up, bro?
We've had a Nazi.
Where are you at right now?
We've had a camp Nazi, and now we need an intellectual.
Where am I at right now?
Yeah,
I'm in LA.
LA.
I'm in my house.
Steiny said you were doing a little bachelor party today.
Yeah, no, I just got back from Vegas yesterday. I was in
nice.
Vegas.
Nice.
All right, so you guys interviewed the Adolf Hitler incarnate, Benjamin Netanyahu, and now everybody's yelling at you guys. I assume, right? Is that what's going on?
Yes, we're getting definitely some yells.
Yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, who the fuck set that up? Was it Miriam Adelson?
Well, we actually toured the White House right before, and he was in D.C.
Who is your Mossad APAC handler? Holy fuck!
Kind of
Good
like a
start.
hand-in-hand
Yeah,
thing.
but someone must have. Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't like, I love the Nelk boys. I'm a big consumer of Happy Dad, and then was like, let's do this.
Well, we've had Trump on a few times. you know.
Someone from the communications team at the White House hit us up, connected us with their communications team, and presented us the
They probably just have some. They probably just hire a bunch of fucking like bedwetting fucking Zoomer people. Who are like, hey, listen, you know the media, you know what's hip, make us hip. That's probably all that, like, what between the White House and Israel, that probably happens.
opportunity to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys were like, let's do it. Sounds great.
I mean, yeah, I can say it again. I've said it a few times, but I can't speak to podcasting as a whole. And other podcasters, they'll have people on with just people they've had good relationships with, or their friends, or people they agree with. But with the Full Send podcast, hate it or love it, right or wrong, if we ever get the opportunity to have a controversial guest on, we're never going to turn it down. Because in my opinion, what we want to do with the Full Send podcast on is we're not afraid to have controversial people on. We're going to ask them questions. Sure, we're probably not the best at asking questions. We're not the best journalists, never claimed to be. So we might not be the best at pressing them. But in my opinion, it's up to the viewer to form their own educated opinion. Like, we have someone controversial on, we ask them questions. I think people give us a little too much credit when they say, oh, you're platforming him, or like, I think, sure, we have a young audience, but they're not fucking stupid. And we don't think they're stupid whatsoever. And I think this podcast is a perfect example of that. Like, if you go and read the comments, just because we have someone on and we're sitting beside someone, people aren't going to be like, oh my God, Nelk's with them. Like, I fucking love this person. Like,
Yeah, wait, Hasan.
that's just not the way it works. Our audience is a lot smarter.
I don't think anybody loves Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't
No,
even think
but
American
but
presidents
that's
like Benjamin
that.
Netanyahu.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying though. Is
The initial
just
reaction-
just because we
And
have
I don't
just
think
because
you
we
can-
have
Listen, I don't think you can platform the fucking prime minister
Yeah.
of Israel. That's not my argument. I don't really give a shit about that.
But I just want you to know my point.
Question
Like,
is,
yeah.
my question is, like, do you feel like there is a culpability that you have? Because, like, look, Donald Trump is a contentious figure, and obviously he's responsible for a metric ton of pain and violence as well, but so is every other American president. That's one thing. But Benjamin Netanyahu is, like, unique in the sense that he's also a foreign leader. So I guess the question is, like, what because he's getting something out of this, right? He's getting something out of this where he gets to, I guess, like, try
But
and humanize
that's the thing,
himself.
Hasan, is we'll have anyone on.
Yeah.
Like, next episode, we're gonna have someone on with the complete opposite ideology that we've already been
Yeah, but-
planning before this podcast came out. The
Who's-
Full Send
who are you
podcast.
guys having on?
I mean, I'd love to hear your suggestions.
Yeah,
We
Hasan,
have
you
a
probably
few
have a good person.
from different friends. You could DM us after if you don't want to say them live. But we're talking to a few different people, and we want to choose the right person to kind of represent, the opposite side. So that's
Okay, but
that's what
Benjamin
we're gonna
Netanyahu
do.
isn't
Yeah.
just like a podcaster, you know what I mean? Like, he's literally the fucking prime minister that is a war criminal by the International Criminal Court. He's, like, literally branded as a war criminal, and it's unique because, like, the International Criminal Court is a European institution, and they've never actually criticized an American or anyone who's an American ally in the past. So it's like, he's killed so many children that even the International Criminal Court was like, damn, this guy
Yeah,
fucking sucks.
I think
He's
if you
literally,
watch
like,
it though
interviewing
too,
Adolf Hitler.
I think if you watch it though too, I think yes. I mean, I think me and Steiny could have pressed him a little bit harder, but we did ask him, what is your response to when people say you're starving children in Gaza? Do you think October 7th could have been prevented? Are you trying to implement regime change in Iran? Like, Americans don't want another war with regime change. So we definitely did ask him some questions that I think people wanted to know.
Okay. What did he say? I mean, of
For
course
which
he
one?
said.
So for starving
he's
children in Gaza, he said that they bring the food in and Hamas steals it and then sells it.
That's a lie. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's so. So
Okay,
here's the
so
thing.
what's your opinion?
Here's the thing.
Hasan, you got to
So what-
remember
yeah,
that
what's-
one side's going to say one thing and
Yeah.
the other side's going to say it's a lie. So you're going to tell us
I don't
something?
think you guys having a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu is the interesting point of contention here for me, at least. Like I mean, I think it's in and of itself, it's like worthy of scrutiny, because it's like, you know, you got it's like interviewing Adolf Hitler. Like, would you interview Adolf Hitler during the Holocaust if you had the opportunity? Probably not, right? And we had less information.
Why not? What's it gonna do? What's the fucking impact of interviewing Hitler during the Holocaust, like, or during the war? Like, it depends on what the purpose is. Even if you're just gonna ask them fucking questions, like, why? People interview fucking serial killers all the time. The fuck?
On the Holocaust while it was happening than we do on this modern iteration of a genocide, because we get to see it in real time because we have the internet.
Okay, so wait, what's your response to what he answered us? You didn't even talk about that.
Oh, it's a fucking lie. No human rights organization that works on the ground, from the UN to the World Food Program, has ever agreed to the Israeli position that this is all Hamas stealing aid or whatever. As a matter of fact, they've openly said that is not the case at all. It's just a way for Israel to continue justifying its starvation policies against the entire civilian population of Gaza, so that they can claim that, like, oh, Hamas is just like stealing this aid. It's bullshit. They've never actually given a single piece of fucking evidence for this. It is just a claim that people have to supposedly take at face value because Israel said it.
And what's the
It's
other
a lie.
side's proof? Just so we can play both sides here.
Well, the other side.
The other side's argument, which I think is kind of like a little bit missed, is that you can say that all the videos of people with masks and guns standing on top of aid trucks, because we've seen quite a lot of those, you can say those are all gangs or whatever. But the point with Hamas, it's not so much them stealing aid. It's the issue is that because they're the government in the region, they control some of the aid. They distribute some of the aid. And the accusation when it comes to Hamas is that they are misappropriating and using that aid to their own causes, and or selling some of it off and all that. But that's not the same as like an aid truck is trying to go to the World Central Kitchen, and then Hamas is like, stop right there. This is our truck now. Like, not like that. But also, like, again, why do you like put two and two together as well, though? Like, why do you think? And this was from a Hamas affiliated Telegram channel that was putting this announcement out when it came to the GHF, when they're so insistent that they want the return to the UNRWA system. Like, they even say, like, specifically UNRWA. And it does make me wonder, like, why Hamas are so insistent on doing aid distribution in this way. At the same time, by the way, when they are currently in a financial crisis and can't pay their fighters. This is just from yesterday. Hamas facing financial and administrative crisis as revenue dries up. So again, like, unfortunately, there's a big lack of information in Gaza, but to say that Hamas doesn't have any interest in aid going back to this other way, unless, like, the other suggestion might be that people would say this is just when Hamas is caring about the civilian deaths in Gaza or the lack of food, but that would be a first. That would be the first time ever Hamas have indicated, like, wanting to shift policy in a way that would protect their civilians more. They don't let people in the tunnels. They don't let civilians hide there. They don't even like it when people follow evacuation orders. When evacuation orders go out and the IDF is about to operate in an area, the Interior Ministry will put out a message saying, no, stay, stand firm. So it's kind of interesting now that they've just suddenly pivoted to having a great humanitarian concern. But at the end of the day, like, it seems really that they have an interest in keeping UNRWA in charge of aid distribution specifically. But who knows, eh? Who knows?
It's not even like the side of the Palestinians. I'm not even offering the side of the Palestinians. The Palestinians obviously think that that's bullshit as well. but the other side is an unbiased third party. The World Food Program is not, on board with Hamas. The World Food Program or the UN is not Hamas or anti-Semitic.
They're not Hamas, but they are in an environment where the information that they have and the information that they can get in massive trouble for leaking is controlled by Hamas. So, and we know this with the rockets as well in the tunnels. How many times did UNRWA complain about tunnels or rockets being stored near their facilities before October 7th? I think I saw like twice. But we know now that they're everywhere, right? We know that there are tunnels all over these areas, underneath them, very close to them, weapons being fired from them. We know that this happened like habitually. Even Hamas themselves, they published their one of their own ambushes, footage of one of their own ambushes, which was from an aid depot, where they booby-trapped an aid depot and blew up like 5 soldiers. And that is a problem. When international organizations or even international journalists and all that, you can even go back, and maybe I'll do a whole thing on this at one point as well, because previous wars, they tell you so much about when they used to have international press in Gaza. There was like one Associated Press writer who literally said that Hamas told him to retract parts of his article that was giving away that Hamas militants had died somewhere, like things like that. Or that there's Hamas presence in a particular battle, because obviously Hamas's directive in previous wars, and especially 2014, has been to say everyone who dies is just an innocent civilian. That's how you have to describe them. Don't mention their combatant status ever. So the UN doesn't need to have any Hamas sympathies at all. But the way that information actually travels from Gaza to the UN to the press is very much influenced by Hamas's behavior. Also, just in fact that Hamas are secretive as well. They're very secretive in what they do. You think AP denied it? What? The journalist who said that Hamas told them to retract a piece of an article? The Associated Press was told that a photographer it employed in Gaza was connected to Hamas. I heard this story, but being denied. You're saying there was no retractions. Didn't they literally show you a before and after? With the whole chunk taken out? Am I thinking of something different? Let's see. What was the guy's name? Ex-Associated Press reporter. Was it Matty Friedman? You're saying the AP denied this? Does this guy talk anywhere that's not the free press? I think I saw this in a Preston Stewart video, but what's this? New York Times article, yeah. I mean, he spoke about it here, but I mean, you can say they denied it, but I'm pretty sure he showed pictures of the article before and after as well. But oh well, I mean, if he's writing in fucking whatever you call it, if he's writing in the free press or whatever, we can just throw him out and say he's a Hamas propagandist, based. Okay.
Anti-Israel beyond, the obvious reasons why you would be anti-Israel, because they're doing these things and then lying about it.
Mm-hmm. So what's your overall opinion of us? Like Kyle just stated, that we're having a world leader on. That's what we're more focused on. And we're not kissing his ass.
I think it was dumb. I'll be honest. Because
But you would do the same thing, Hasan, if you had the opportunity. 100%. Sure, you could have pressed him a little harder.
There's a difference, though. I'm well equipped to have a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu, because when he says something like that, I can turn around and be like, well, the World Food Program has said that, you know, there is no evidence to suggest that Hamas is stealing aid. Whereas you don't have that follow up in that situation. And Benjamin Netanyahu knows that, and his team.
Well, in any case, this claim turned out to be true. The thing he's saying that he complied with Hamas censorship on was that Hamas fighters were disguised as civilians and were being counted as civilians in death toll. But there's literally an Interior Ministry announcement from 2014 telling their activists to do that, to report everyone as a civilian if you're ever asked by international press about a particular strike or a battle. That's why the Hamas death toll doesn't come out until like 2 years afterwards, when they publish it on their website. Like, once all the dust is settled. Anyway.
Team knows that, which is precisely why he went on the Nelk Boys podcast and he didn't go on, you know, my stream or something.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I would honestly have a conversation.
But in
in
my opinion, I think that, like, for example, I think Trump is really good on a podcast. Like, obviously that's why he did his whole I mean, he's clearly a good speaker. Like, you can't deny that. But I think, in my opinion, just because we platform someone, it doesn't necessarily equate to like a positive outcome for the guest. And I think this is like a perfect example of that. Like, this could even be a negative thing for him coming on.
No, I think in the grand scheme of things, like,
so like, why
I
just don't?
Because Benjamin Netanyahu gets
that's what I'm
positive coverage
saying.
from every outlet. He gets positive coverage from every outlet. So you guys are marginal in that regard. It's not like all that significant. But if you're looking for like,
well, that's what I'm trying to say though. It's like if Fox
What do you
News
mean?
has him on and they're more supportive of him, and then we have him on, CNN has him on.
yeah, no, that's why I'm saying
How do we
it's
divide
marginal.
that?
Like, you having him on is marginal, as opposed to like him going on Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, all of those other outlets, and then not just Benjamin Netanyahu, but like Israeli envoys going on CNN every night and saying, well, we blew up this mosque, or we blew up this church because Hamas was.
Sorry, I was fucking muted. Yeah, Netanyahu gets positive coverage from half of the Israeli press as well, like, or negative coverage. I mean, what are we talking about here? Are we really trying to suggest that the entirety of the press is giving him positive coverage? The fuck? How many times have mainstream press now had to retract articles because they cite health ministry information as just fact, like confirmed fact? They don't do, like, they've done that so many times now. They did it a whole bunch of times recently with GHF shootings, and then they did it with the Al Ali blast as well. And they still do it habitually. If you ever see the headline is always, you got the IDF making a claim, and you've got the health ministry making a claim. You always have the headline saying, first of all, health officials say. And there's a whole thing that was happening with CNN as well, where, I think it was CNN, where they'll have the headline that says, when they're citing the health ministry, but they won't say Gaza health ministry or Hamas-controlled health ministry says. They'll say health officials say, which makes it sound like just like that, or like independent doctors or something. Yeah, it's just really, as far as coverage goes, like the mainstream press is pretty. There's a reason Israel doesn't like a lot of like the BBC, fucking Associated Press. Yeah. Netanyahu does not really get, like, there's some Israeli press that obviously gives him a free ride, but international press definitely not.
In it or whatever. That is ultimately playing a role in crafting this elaborate narrative that Israel is always in the right, Israel has a right to defend itself, and that they have to do these things. They have to contextualize this violence. Like, all of that plays a much larger role. You guys just basically are presenting a similar perspective that you get from CNN or Fox News, but now to a younger audience that's going to look at, I guess, maybe Benjamin Netanyahu and be like, he's a chill guy that you can hang with.
Like, even that sentence, CNN or Fox News. Sorry, CNN's coverage is so... Fox News is like the Israel fucking Glaze Center. But then we're comparing that to CNN, where, again, one of the retractions from the GHF shootings, because that came from CNN as well. They reported a health ministry claim as fact, and then later said they couldn't be independently verified. Whatever. God, he's so retarded. Fuentes already did a better job of like massaging this audience compared to Hasan. Like, this can't be. Oh God.
But I don't even know if he's capable of doing
Hasan,
that.
here's kind of where I disagree with you. Is if you watch CNN or you watch Fox News, you kind of know what narrative you're looking for, and with us playing that neutral ground, you don't know.
Yeah.
What you're gonna get, right? So that's the differentiator. And like we told, I don't know if Kyle mentioned this earlier, but we're having a pro-Palestinian on as our very soon here. So we're gonna.
I don't know who you guys are having on, but
But what I'm trying to say is like, how are we? If we're a neutral podcast, how are we anything like either side? If you know what you're gonna get when you tune into either network.
Well, no one is fully neutral in that regard, right? Because like that's why I asked, like, would you, if Osama bin Laden wasn't dead, would you interview him?
Do you want? I mean, honestly.
Bro, you'd fucking glaze him. What are you talking about? What? Oh God. He would be so soft on bin Laden. What the fuck? We watched you simping over fucking Houthis and talking about how they're like Luffy when they were kidnapping civilians. Bombing ships full of civilians. Okay. Yeah, what's wrong with interviewing bin Laden? There were journalists who did interview bin Laden. You know what most of that interview is remembered for? Just bin Laden talking. No one gives a fuck about the interviewer. Oh, you didn't push back enough. Sometimes people don't want to push back. People, sometimes, okay, and this serves the public interest as well. Even from the worst figures on earth, sometimes you don't want to watch them get debated, okay? You want to watch them say what they believe. And sometimes the best way to get them to say what they believe is to put them in an environment where they can speak freely. Or at least where they feel like they can speak freely, and they get all the backlash afterwards.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough question.
Would you?
If Osama bin Laden wasn't dead? Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
So then why are
And
you?
the same for, but it would be.
And I've
it
got
would
lots
be
of
contentious
experience.
in the same-
Yeah, I've got lots of experience pushing back on these people, you know? Watch me. You think he would be as contentious as Netanyahu? Fucking hell, shut the fuck up, man. You thought that kid was a Houthi when you brought him onto your stream. Remember that? He thought the kid was a Houthi, and he glazed the fuck out of them.
Same vein as the Benjamin Netanyahu interview. Like there are people that I interview that the American
Well, if
the
you got
American
bin Laden,
audiences
if
would
you got
consider-
bin Laden, you'd never be able to grill him because you would have had to go to Afghanistan. You would
Yeah.
have mission to
Yeah.
a cave, and then they would have
Well, you
had
had to
like,
go to
guns.
that his
No, I
house.
mean,
Did you see
we're-
that
we're-
one guy?
We're setting up a hypothetical scenario.
Wait. Western interview. In most of these interviews, you remember, you don't, yeah, this was a bin Laden getting an interview at CNN, right? I don't know why they're only...
You have declared a jihad against the United States. Can you tell us why?
The US government has committed acts that are extremely unjust, hideous, and criminal through its support of the Israeli occupation of Palestine. And we believe the US is directly responsible for those killed in Palestine, Lebanon, and Iraq. Due to its subordination to the Jews, the arrogance of the United States regime has reached the point that they occupied Arabia, the holiest place.
Look at this piece of shit, nodding away, glazing, he's doing a little thing. He's even doing the journalist nod. Oh no. Yeah, really, you think Hasan would give this guy as much heat as he gives Netanyahu?
To the Muslims, who are more than 1 billion people in the world today. For this and other acts of aggression and injustice, we have declared jihad against the US.
Is the jihad directed against the U.S. government?
Wow, no pushback, absolutely
you-
not. Just another question. That's fucking disgusting, man. Actually, I never even heard this whole thing about like interviewers, like neutral interviewers. Being fucking purity tested on how aggressive they are in an interview. I never used to see that. It's like a very recent thing.
United States troops in Arabia? What about U.S. civilians in Arabia or the people of the United States?
We
We have focused our declaration of jihad on striking at the US soldiers inside Arabia, the country of the two holy places, Mecca and Medina. In our religion, it is not permissible for any non-Muslim to stay in Arabia. Therefore, even though American civilians are not targeted in our plan, they must leave. We do not guarantee their safety.
Wow. Wow. Where's the dude who went into the mountain with him? Last interview with Western media before... This is the guy who went into the camp, right?
And healing.
Fucking music. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, where Bin Laden is able to like connect via Discord. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna fucking interview Bin Laden with a gun trained on my head. That would not be a situation.
Right.
Like, that would not be the case. He's dead anyway. In the
Right. Well, I mean, we interviewed him. We interviewed him in the White House with fucking 20 people standing around us in suits that we didn't know who they were. So it's almost.
I think in that
maybe not the same
too, you'd act a
situation,
little
but
different,
yeah,
so
I mean,
respectfully.
Okay, so my point is, it would not. Would you be neutral with Bin Laden in the same way that you're like a neutral podcast?
I think we would do our best to ask him tough questions.
What's wrong with that?
Okay.
I think there's a sense of understanding too.
Am I crazy? What's wrong? Can someone please tell me what's wrong with doing a neutral interview with a fucking crazy person? What's wrong with that? I feel like I need someone to have to explain this to me. Because it's not really, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. Am I missing something?
Well, Hasan, I think there's.
What about Adolf Hitler?
Wow. Well done, Hasan.
I think we'd always kind of play the neutral role, to be honest, and just
you would play a neutral role interviewing Adolf Hitler. I don't think that's the case. I think you're just saying that right now because you want to.
We're just not the best at grilling guests and pushing back on them, to be honest. Like I said, we're not claiming to be good journalists. Like we can ask a question, but when it comes to like a follow-up question, I'll be honest, we're not the most like I've never claimed to be super educated on this.
Hasan, you haven't even watched the podcast.
I haven't. I haven't had time.
Okay,
I don't know.
The
What questions you guys ask, but I assume.
Wait, listen. The first few minutes is us sitting there like, yo, we are not qualified to do this. This is fucking insane. We acknowledge the fact that, yeah.
Okay, he hasn't watched the interview and he's come here to fucking purity test them on it because so far he's made one point about the aid and his argument is that the aid orgs say it's not happening on like, okay. Apart from that, is he just like, why the fuck are you sitting on your little fucking high horse when you've been fucking mogged in debates with fucking Willie Mack and with Christian Walker? Like, you're not the guy to talk with. Even with fucking Ethan, bro. Like, Hasan did a debate with Ethan about the Middle East, a fucking drama podcaster, and had to get explained to him. Like, tried to go into the niches of like Avi Schleim's view on Jews in the Middle East, and had to get shown that actually Avi Schleim didn't say that the bombings were the main reason for people leaving, even though he tried to present that. And he'd been parroting that shit for like over a year. Absolutely mogged. South Africa jumping around like a fucking clown who can't tell the difference between blowing up infrastructure and targeting soldiers versus targeting civilians. Like, and it's all just violence. But you're the guy who comes on and says, listen, doing an interview with these highly contentious fascist-esque figures is it's very sizable task. And, you know, I'm equipped for the task. You guys are not equipped for the task. With my help, though, you guys could be equipped for the task. Meanwhile, he goes on with fucking like Willie Mack or like Ethan and shit, and he just starts fucking spurging and flailing on really simple questions. Like, it takes him like fucking, it's like a pulling teeth fucking episode trying to get him to admit that the main reason Jews left the Middle East to go, Middle Eastern countries to go to Israel was persecution by their governments. And he's just like, he can't admit that. Fucking hell.
You're right. We're not the best journalists. We're not the most fit to do this. But the fact that we had an opportunity to interview a world leader, two guys like us, we're going to jump on that just as I know you would. So you can say what
That's
you want.
fine, yeah.
But the difference is the difference is like if there was a situation where I felt like I was ill-equipped for the task, I would just not do it. You know what I mean?
I didn't say we're ill-equipped.
Really?
I
Yeah,
said there's
but
people
it's a good thing. I love that. Because if I felt inequipped, the problem is you never feel inequipped. Where's the... They're here.
With you, but hey.
I will find this. It might take a minute because there's a lot of... I don't know which timestamp to look for. I will find this, though. It's absolutely happening. And it's going to be so pog. Where the fuck? Okay. How long did they argue this topic for? Was it here? It's like he's saying here, being like, I would never, if I was to debate a contentious, bigoted figure, I would never step into that arena, into that battlefield, had I not been perfectly prepared with my plans and my arguments and my counter arguments and my logical traps. You guys are just ill-equipped to deal with such a high-profile, toxic figure. Me, on the other hand, Meanwhile, this is him debating a fucking transphobe.
Example as well, but like here, there you go. Like would
womanhood isn't based on
would you
what you
okay?
look
Would you
like.
consider this okay? But like, would you consider this person a man? Would you say that's a man when you like? Let's say you're at a fucking bar, okay?
Looks like a
It's
woman.
so fucking bad. Like, what the fuck is this argument? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he's just on here like, what, bro? She's hot. Like, you think that's a man, bro? And the guy's like, yeah, you're XX chromosome and XY chromosome. You're a man. XX, you're a woman. Yeah, fucking hell. It's so disgusting. Ugh. Absolute fucking clown. Sargon and Fuentes. Yeah, that was like the biggest fucking train wreck debate I've ever seen. Holy shit. Right after Christchurch as well.
More fit.
Well, I mean, if you're, I mean, this is a unique opportunity.
But
You have an
the Full Send
unprecedented
podcast is, I'll be
opportunity.
honest. No. Let's be honest. The Full Send podcast is never going to be the fucking best line of questioning. Like, I'll be honest. That's the honest truth. Let's be fucking real here. That's exactly. And that's why they choose us. And that's why the show is what it is because we're kind of dumb and we're not the best fucking, we're not the most educated. That's why the Full Send podcast is what it is.
So loud.
Let's hear what you have to
Is
say,
there a
Hasan.
person that you guys wouldn't interview? Because like we're also like now stuck on whether you guys should be interviewing
What the
Benjamin Netanyahu
fuck?
or not. I think
In
it's-
today's
They said they would interview anyone. They'd interview fucking Hitler and be neutral, okay? You need to make an argument now, Hasan. I don't know what you think you're poking around for here.
age, in
is-
today's
You think you're gonna pull one out of the sack? What about Mussolini? Huh? They'll never say yes to Mussolini. And they're like, yeah, we would.
age, like right now, I think that's a fair question to ask. Right now,
like would you what did you say?
like
I think,
I'm talking about right
I think
now.
you got to speak to people that are alive because
You can't
going
speak
back in time is,
historically.
yeah.
We're saying right now because that's pretty much where we're at. So if we could interview anyone right now, like who would we say no to? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I can't think of someone.
Oh no.
Okay, so like even out of like because the reason why I have to go back to historical figures that have conducted genocides is because like Benjamin Netanyahu is doing one right now.
Because you're too retarded to think of anyone who could possibly be doing anything as bad as or even worse than what Israel's doing in the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So you didn't know anything about anything. There's Hitler and there's Netanyahu. Okay, that's it. That's the S tier. Everyone else is, somewhere in the not interesting area, apparently.
And he's not even the singular
that's
force.
what you're
of-
talking
Apart from
about.
half of them are the fucking heroes of either you or people in your community, right? Like fucking hit Stalin, fucking Pol Pot.
hypotheticals, bro. That's where you lose me, is because you're talking about things.
Well,
I
mean,
could
the
talk about
reason why
stuff.
I'm is-
Like I
100
think,
years
I mean,
ago.
people. What do you think about having Putin on? Like, what do you think about having Putin on? Like Tucker Carlson had Putin on.
Yeah.
Other journalists have. There's war, Russia and Ukraine.
Tucker Carlson had Vladimir Putin on, and when Tucker Carlson had Vladimir Putin on, he did that in a capacity to do propaganda for Vladimir Putin.
But this is the worst argument, though, because yes, Tucker Carlson's intentions there were purely immoral, right? Because he was there to try and give a Western, like American conservative isolationist friendly face to Putin. And Putin squandered it by giving him a fucking retarded history lesson about Russian imperialism and how glorious it is and how it dates all the way back to the fucking like 9th century AD. And that actually revealed a lot about him. It revealed a lot about Putin. The fact that like a Western audience could see that like on a Western show of just him taking the opportunity, being given the opportunity to make all the NATO isolationist friendly arguments and just fucking jizzing it away so he can yap about Oleg the Wise. Like that was fucking brilliant. And that was an attempted propaganda interview and that happened. Sorry, Oleg is 10th century. How could I forget? I didn't listen to Putin's history lesson.
Sure,
Right.
he didn't push back at all. He was there
Because
he was in Russia. and
you
he
really
did it
can't.
specifically
You
so
really
he could
can't.
do-
You really can't in that situation.
I know, but that's precisely why like sometimes it's better not to take that opportunity. You know what I mean? That's my
Right.
my position.
Like for the Tucker,
And
when I
even
saw
then,
that, when
Tucker
I saw
Carlson,
the
I can't believe
Tucker,
I'm saying this, but Tucker Carlson is he's still more equipped to at least have like follow-up questions. Like think about the Ted Cruz interview that he had. Like he obviously.
Tucker's the man in my opinion. But
Oh, yeah,
when
he
I
is.
watched that Putin interview, like I thought Putin was like dodging questions and he like didn't answer anything. So that's what
It's
goes
one
back.
thing they agree upon. Tucker Carlson is reliable to handle the Jews. Hey, yes.
My point of like platforming someone, and I think just because we have someone on, it doesn't always mean a positive for the guest. And I think, I mean, you go read this comment section, like I don't think this is necessarily a positive thing for Netanyahu. So
Yeah, but it's not a positive thing for you guys either, because most of your audience is probably already anti-Israel and anti-Netanyahu. So now they're yelling
that's
at
fine
you
because
guys, so
I
now-
can sleep at night knowing like our intention with this, and you know we're not fucking pro-Israel. I'm not pro-Israel. I don't know enough about this conflict to be honest. I only see what I read online, and I hear his point of view, then I hear your point of view. I really have no idea what's going on. I'd love to learn more, but that's kind of where
Yeah,
we
but I think
stand.
you got to do that before you do an interview. Look,
Okay,
my
wait, but
point is
Hasan,
this.
go ahead.
What
sorry.
you guys did is from my estimation, okay, what you guys did is no different than like what CNN does, okay? You just basically presented someone who is a war criminal, someone who is doing a genocide in a somewhat neutral light. And you can't be neutral.
CNN literally had to correct a report because they did the opposite. They actually treated a health ministry claim on shootings at the distribution centers as if it were fact. They said they couldn't, then they had to later update and say they couldn't independently verify it. So, okay.
When you have someone like Benjamin Netanyahu directly in an opportunity to talk to him, but that's what happened. So there is
Yeah.
moral culpability here for you
Well,
guys.
I think this is
individually.
the way we roll with this is it's going to give us the opportunity to get the biggest people in the world, and I think you'll know by the Full Send podcast when you watch it. It's like, hey, we're going to watch these guys are going to get big guests. We might not necessarily get these guys grilling these people, and that's just what you're going to come to expect with the Full
I know,
Send
but
podcast.
if you don't
right?
grill them, then all you're doing is like, you know,
We're
just
having
like
them.
I
We're
said.
having them on, and people are watching, and they're
What
forming their
you're
own
doing in that
opinions. And
situation
people,
is
people are not.
basically just
I just don't
saying,
think
no?
people are.
Hold on,
no, I don't think so.
Hasan,
'cause
you're
people are
missing
not
the-
fucking stupid.
Wait, Kyle, you're missing the biggest point here is Hasan. We're looking to have someone from the opposite side and give them the exact same opportunity.
Okay, well, you would have to have.
Okay.
I mean, there is no opposite side because like there's one side that's being genocided and the other side that's doing the
Okay,
genocide.
so someone who has
Holy
opposite
shit.
views or is on
Like
the
it
other
would be
side.
like interviewing the leadership of Hamas. You know what I mean? And that's illegal under. I mean, I don't think you would be able to
We would
conduct
100%
on
do
your
that
own.
if-
It's not, I love these guys. I mean, they're total shitheads, but the fact that they just keep saying, yes, we'll interview, yeah, we'll take them. It's not, is it illegal to interview Hamas leaders? Since when? But that's not comparable, right? Because they're the victims of the genocide. Okay.
We were safe.
Yeah.
If the Iranian supreme leader called me right now and we knew we were safe, we would obviously do that.
Yeah.
And going to the interview, Hasan, which I think it's funny.
Why are you laughing, Hasan? The problem is that if these guys did a neutral interview with the Ayatollah or with Hamas or with even fucking Assad, you would not give a shit. You would not be on here to give them a fucking scolding and a telling to. Even if they interview fucking Assad, you would not have an issue. You would not be coming on here. Or you'd maybe say, oh, that's bad, but you wouldn't be like on here being like giving them a proper telling to. Yeah, ever. Fuck.
I think it's funny that you haven't watched yet because you're going kind of ham on us.
Shit.
And you haven't watched. Which
They're clocking him.
I haven't had the opportunity to watch it. I was
I understand. You're busy.
To it.
But what I was going to say is that we did talk about Hamas. We did talk about a lot of these things.
I know, but just simply talking about it without having the proper knowledge and the proper equipment to be able to push back when he's lying only turns
You've said this
into
like
an
a million
opportunity
times
for
now.
him
What the fuck?
Like, why do you think Benjamin Netanyahu did this?
No, we agree
Of course,
with you.
no, we agree with you. We're not. We know that,
Bro, that's the reason anyone does a
He
podcast.
used you guys.
But I don't know if that was
you
necessary. I don't know if it was necessarily
knowledge on this issue.
I don't know if that was necessarily successful though.
Yeah, that with Kyle, I agree.
I think everyone's seeing what Trump did, and Hasan after the whole election, the whole story was how podcasts won the election, blah blah blah. That was every story. Like I even did a bunch of interviews on it too, and I think obviously the Israeli team.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne's dead. Just a few weeks after his farewell show, huh? Well, fuck. F's in the chat for Ozzy Osbourne. Damn. Okay, next.
That and they're like, oh, we need to do podcasts. But in my opinion, not everyone is a Trump and that good of a speaker that can go on and kind of adapt to any environment. And I think that Netanyahu came on and I think you see the response. And I think that podcasting doesn't work for anyone. We saw what happened with Kamala too. Like she was a fucking disaster on pods. So I think just because we platform someone, it doesn't necessarily like mean that we're trying to help them. Or I think viewers are a lot smarter than they think they are. Like,
okay, Benjamin Netanyahu is a multiple decade politician and has been the leader of Israel in perpetuity.
Right.
He is a lot better at propaganda than you think he is. Okay, first of all, let's just get that out of the way. The idea that you think that he is not capable of like weaving through a couple softballs that you thought were hard-hitting questions that he has probably addressed a million times over is silly. Let me make no mistake.
I agree with you on that.
So my question to you is, why do you think he wanted to come on the Nelk Boys podcast?
Of course he wanted to. Of course he wanted to come on to try to win over the young audience. We're not disagreeing on that. I'm saying I don't necessarily know if that's successful. And I think just because you come on the Full Send podcast and sit beside Nelk Boys and take some softball questions, if you say that, it doesn't necessarily equate to a positive outcome for the guest. I don't think platforming people, I don't think that's always a positive thing.
Right? The question is the same. Like Adolf
Hitler you could just go read the comments. Like
Adolf Hitler
it doesn't look
podcast,
like a positive
having
thing.
A conversation with him, and he starts, and you're like, why are you?
We can't speak to Hitler. I think we should speak. I think we should speak to someone. I think we should speak to people that are alive.
The reason why we're using this analog is because
put your flag in the ground for Hitler.
The reason why, well, I don't think it's an unfair comparison at all.
I think
obviously, they're exactly the same.
It's not realistic.
But we can talk about because that's an analogy.
Speak to anyone alive.
Speak
to anyone alive.
I'm using that as an analogy because Adolf Hitler is a figure that you and I both agree is a truly evil.
But I think why don't you just name one person alive for the analogy?
He doesn't. I can't think of anyone.
I'm using this as an analogy because you already.
No, I don't think it's a fair analogy.
Hitler is like doing something akin to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing.
I know. I don't think.
You
it's
really
I'm using this as an analogy. There's no modern contemporary that I can use at this moment that you would have the same, that would have a similar impact for you. That's why I'm using it as an analogy. Because Adolf Hitler is a figure.
It's not realistic.
But we can talk about because that's an analogy.
Speak to anyone alive.
Speak
to anyone alive.
I'm using that as an analogy because Adolf Hitler is a figure that you and I both agree is a truly evil.
But I think why don't you just name one person alive for the analogy?
but I'm using this as an analogy because you already.
I don't think it's a fair analogy.
Is like doing something akin to what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing.
I know. I don't think it's a fair
There's
analogy.
there's no one in this day and age who's doing anything akin to what Netanyahu's doing, like fucking Putin or Assad or who helped Assad again? Oh yeah, the people you support, Hezbollah, you fucking retard. Yeah, they were helping Assad when he was murdering like hundreds of thousands of his own civilians in Syria. For what? Not because of an attack on like on October 7th, because they wanted to stay in power. They wanted to keep a dictator in power. Fuck. Fucking President Xi. Oh yeah, now let's bring him on. Yeah, that's definitely not comparable. What we're gonna do with President Xi is we're gonna bring him on and talk about how it's actually tourism hour now in fucking Xinjiang. How actually, yeah, you know, they used to have lots of concentration camps in there for like millions of people and all that, but to basically fucking torture people's cultural identity out of them. But you know, you finished the job now, and Associated Press mentioned that tourists are sometimes going there. Let's ignore everything else in the article. Let's go. Houthis. Fuck me, man. Jesus. Even if you want to talk about like recent, like and people from the Yugoslav wars, leaders of the Rwandan genocide, people in charge in fucking Sudan right now, what the fuck? Hey.
Using this as an analogy, there's no modern contemporary that I can use at this moment that you would have the same, that would have a similar impact for you. That's why I'm using it as an analogy.
But you're talking about completely hypotheticals.
Yeah, of course, that's what an analogy is.
I understand that, but you're saying it's
as long as the crimes are comparable, which is genocide on both ends.
He's so dumb. He doesn't even know how to approach people who like who have quite a understandable, quite a clear worldview. If you were going to talk to these, because these guys are right wingers, right? Like they're like MAGA leaning. That's why they got to interview Trump and Netanyahu. So why not ask them if like a fucking ISIS? Like, would you interview an ISIS leader? Because everyone knows about ISIS. Everyone knows about the beheading videos and all the shit that they did. Why not ask about ISIS? And actually, Hasan wouldn't have an issue with using that comparison because he thinks ISIS is the same thing as Israel. Like, doesn't he? Or actually, no, he doesn't say that. He just thinks it's very interesting. It's very interesting that ISIS doesn't fight with Israel, even though they have and do. Where was it? Was it Dan who tweeted that video? Maybe? Dan? Dan. Why can't I? It is on Dan's Twitter, isn't it? Yeah.
On the other hand, you have obviously ISIS, which is this terror cell that seemingly never attacks Israel and only kills Muslims. Weirdly enough, okay? Don't know what that's about. I'm not going to point any fingers here.
I'm just asking questions. God, you are so fucking cataclysmically dense. You fucking more. ISIS, first of all, they have claimed attacks against Israel. There were stabbings in Jerusalem that were claimed by ISIS. They have claimed attacks against Israel. If you're wondering why they haven't claimed many, why there aren't many ISIS, that's a really, you know what, actually, oh shit, why not many? Because ISIS were quite busy, weren't they? They controlled a lot of territory. Oh no, it actually makes quite a lot of sense if you just think about it. Palestinians, if they want to fight with Israelis, they have like 12 fucking local militant groups that they can go and ask and talk to if they want to do that. Why the fuck would they bypass all of them and go to ISIS? If you're Palestinian and you want to fight with Israelis, just go fucking down the road. You'll find someone. You'll know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and you're sorted. Why would you need to go all the way to fucking ISIS to fight with Israel? So fucking dense. Jesus.
Has the American forces actually defended ISIS at times? Yes. Has Israel defended ISIS at times in Syria? Yes.
When? How? Is this because of the medical aid that they were giving to people in the south? Most of whom were civilians, all right? And the militants were not identified by particular factions. Yeah, okay.
They have. On the other hand, you have obviously ISIS, which is this terror cell that seemingly never attacks Israel and only kills Muslims.
Yeah, well.
As long as the crimes are
the people they
comparable,
gave aid to in the south were not ISIS. I don't even know it was a precursor. It was al-Nusra, wasn't it? That maybe al-Nusra fighters got medical aid from Israel. But again, that's a very different question to what? Like people coming to your border because they're like dying and you take them into a hospital and treat them and then send them back on their way. That's the same as saying, if someone said Israel has defended ISIS and you're just left to your imagination to be like, okay, what does that mean? That sounds like they were helping them, like in Syria fighting with Assad or some shit. But it's like, oh no, what actually turned out was like some people who were unidentified militants showed up at the border along with civilians as well, including a lot of children, came for medical help. So you let them in, you took them to the hospital before sending them back. That's probably not what you have in mind when someone says that they're defending ISIS, right?
Then, and you understand that the crimes are
It's
comparable.
too hypothetical.
If you think that
I
there's
can't
something
speak
wrong
to
with the
it. I
analogy,
can't
you can
speak to it.
tackle why I'm using it as an analogy, not
I
just
can't
saying,
speak to
oh,
it.
you
I
can't
wasn't
use an
alive.
analogy.
I can't speak to it. I wasn't alive. But if you can make the analogy with anyone alive.
But the Holocaust happened, right? Like, obviously.
Yes. I would say so.
Okay, so since you understand that the Holocaust happened, okay. And,
then there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that hate Netanyahu that say it didn't too, which is like I don't understand. That. So like, there's a lot of different.
Oh shit! Going around. He's observing some strange goings on there, isn't he? Huh. I love. How long has he spent just trying to extract this shit from? They've already said they would interview like any fucking crazy person you throw at them, including people who have murdered people with their bare hands, apparently. Why do you... you're still just sitting there like... I don't know if he's like... Because he's kind of... There's this thing where... He's talking like he thinks... Like he thinks they're dumber than they are as well. Like they might be quite... They're clearly ignorant. They might be quite dumb. But he thinks they're like fucking 3 years old. Like, the way he's just saying like, well, so that Hitler did the Holocaust. Well, Hitler did the Holocaust and Netanyahu's doing the Holocaust. Well, why would you interview the person? Like, why do you think you're like, who do you think you're talking to, man? Like, the fuck? It's such a stupid... Yeah, sorry, not everyone's as fucking brain dead as the people in your chat. Fuck.
That are like...
Yes, but yeah, I'm not gonna... If you want, I can explain to you what the reasoning behind it is, why Nazis don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. Nazis who deny the Holocaust don't like Benjamin Netanyahu because he's Jewish. And they think that Israel is a Jewish state and that, they're doing this for Judaism or whatever the fuck. Wait, hold on. I think
What?
Am I dropped? What's going on? Oh shit. My
Wow. I really clearing that one up for us, buddy.
Wait, hold on. It's effing on
You're
my
lagging
my
a little
stream
bit.
is like
Or you got
busted.
a little...
Hold on.
We can hear you fine.
Let me try to fix it.
If you're talking about the Americans who hate Netanyahu, it would be because like the American Nazis, like they think Netanyahu and Israel are like controlling the American government and like soying out their society with DEI and immigration, right? That's probably okay.
It's not the no. It's not on my end. It's not my internet. The thing that's busted is the thing that's broken is it's like glitching on the video side. I'm gonna try to hit a. Hold on. I'm gonna try to hit an ingest fix on my end. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Is that not what Hasan thinks? No, Hasan thinks the Hezbollah thing, which is that for different reasons, but he thinks that America controls Israel, not the other way around. So yeah, he likes to distinguish himself from Nazis, but that's why he thinks Hezbollah is like actually, or he thinks Nasrallah was less of an anti-Semite than Ethan Klein, right? Because Nasrallah says that Israel is getting directions from the United States, not the reverse. But what Hasan doesn't know is why they think that. They say that because, and they'll tell you this if you look at previous like other interviews that they've done and other quotes, they believe that because it's just intolerable to them to believe that a small number of Jews coming out of Europe could have actually ever managed to get the better of the Arab and Muslim world. That's why they think. That's why they think Israel doesn't control America. That's why they don't like that talking point. Whereas, yeah, Hasan thinks Israel's an arm of America. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You got an expert setup in there.
I do, but it's I think they're getting like DDoSed.
Okay, so Hasan, last, while we have you here.
Wait 1 second. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I fixed it. Nope, it's completely black now. I don't know what's going on. This is so fucking annoying.
Okay, now you're lagging on our side. Is he on through Discord?
No. Am I lagging currently?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, my internet is fine.
You're just a little bit delayed.
I don't know.
I mean, it's fine.
Hold on 1 second.
He drops. Oh, he does drop. And then there's Myron and Sneako. How many fucking people? I forgot I forgot about this.
What the frick is going?
Let's get Myron in here.
Don't touch it. Oh, don't touch it. Okay. Salim got to hop in for this one now.
Who's there later? Oh, that's Adam.
We need
Friedland.
Lamy. We need Lamy for Myron. We need Lamy for Myron.
Why do you think he faked his connection failing? Because he needed to think of he fakes a connection failing because he needs to think of another question. He's just sitting there with his little fucking, like the comedian with the flashcards being like, okay, so you wouldn't interview Hitler, would you? And he's got a whole bunch of flashcards prepared for them saying, no, I wouldn't. But since they said yes, he's stuck. Oh no. Now I need to think of another point to make. Holy shit.
Yo, Myron, you're super laggy, bro.
Laggy?
Failed to start camera.
Holy.
How do we should see now?
We can see you now.
Let's go, Myron. Tell us what's what. Let's see Myron make more points than Hasan. So he's got to beat 1. Can he do it?
Your audio's fucked. Camera looks phenomenal though.
Okay. Let's see here. God, fucking Discord.
Oh
is
shit,
that a
man!
red camera?
Fix your.
Yeah, it's a Sony FX3.
Can you turn it down?
So my audio's coming in bad, you said?
Yeah, your audio's just.
He's fixing it, guys.
That's
Mic right now is something else. He's fixing.
Fuck. Are you sure this isn't on our end? If Hasan and Myron's.
No, buddy, we're locked in right now.
Okay.
What the fuck? I'm trying to fix it. Okay, so it still sounds bad right now?
One more
Say it
time.
again?
Can you guys hear me? Does it still sound bad now?
A little bit.
It's-
Chat,
we're
how's the
almost
audio?
there. Yo, can we turn on the headphone a little bit?
Well, I think that's just
It's
Myron.
like choppy or
There we go. There we
There
go.
it is.
There we go.
There
There we
we
go.
go.
we're good?
Yep. Now
All
we're
right.
good.
Myron Gains has joined the chat.
What's up, guys?
Myron, how you
Myron.
doing, bro?
I seen you in Miami. We dabbed each other up, and then next thing I know, you seen us kissing the wall, and I don't know if we're still friends or not.
Man, dude, look, I'm not gonna knock you guys too hard like Hasan. Well, let me start off with this.
No, he didn't knock us. He didn't knock us that hard.
Oh, he's smoozing.
Nah, bro, he was been trying to fucking son you guys the whole time, dude. He's such a fucking cocky dickhead. Like, hey, look, you guys didn't know what you got into. It's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? Instead of coming in and trying to be a pompous fucking prick.
Wow.
What he should have
Soft
done was
coaxing.
kind of like educate you guys.
Yes,
on the-
coax them into the JQ. Yes, wow. Oh God, he's gonna educate them. Oh no, we're gonna hear some straight facts here.
dark history of Israel. and why Netanyahu is such a fucking scumbag. versus
Okay,
trying to come
let's
in
go.
like a dickhead.
Yes.
So I'll keep it nice and simple for you guys.
Huh.
Here's the problem. Jews run America, and they use their influence to subvert our government, our culture, and get us into a bunch of foreign wars. They claim to be our greatest ally when they're really not. They were involved in 9/11. They
Okay, yeah, whoa.
Don't go
Wait,
conspiracy theories, Myron.
Wait,
Myron, no conspiracy
Back
theories
that up,
right now.
because 9/11 is my favorite conspiracy. How are they involved in 9/11?
Uh-oh.
Sure, and it's not a conspiracy theory. I'm going to go through with you guys with what's the real deal.
Well, wait, Myron. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but let's start with what we're talking about now is having Netanyahu on the podcast. So let's start there.
Okay.
What's your
What do you wanna
opinion
know?
on that?
Just your overall opinion. Us having a world leader on, as we said.
Look, he's a war criminal, bro. He's currently wanted by the ICC. He's killed, we know 50,000 confirmed, but other estimates put it at around 330,000. Harvard came out with this number
Holy
because
shit, that's a lot.
in Gaza, there's a lot of people buried under the rubble. So there's all kinds of shit going on as far as when it comes to him.
Right.
Are you
so?
cool?
So what's your opinion on us just having him on? Do you think we should have not had him on?
Well, look, my thing is, I think if you guys have him on, okay, so if I'm going to Monday morning quarterback this, like, let's say you guys had Netanyahu on, and then you had someone that was like critical of Zionism on, and you guys dropped the interview on the same day, that would have been great. Like, if y'all had done his interview, then done somebody else, then drop both interviews same day, you guys would be getting.
Well, we're gonna drop
backlash
it next. We're gonna drop it next episode.
Yeah, but like,
It's not our first, bro. It's not our first time getting backlash, and I understand
of course,
it. And it's, you know what? It's rightfully so. I understand how passionate and touchy of an issue this is, and I don't necessarily disagree with their perspective. I understand, but from our point of view, like we've said, and I'll tell you again, but with the Full Send podcast, we're gonna have everyone on. We're going to ask them questions, and we're going to leave it
No. Steiny's the guy on the left. That's Steiny. This one here is Steiny.
up to the viewer. I think people give us too much credit just because we have someone on and they sit beside the Nelk boys. Our audience isn't going to fucking go like, oh my God, I love that person now because they fucking went on the Full Send podcast. No, our audience is actually, they're fucking smart. Everyone watching right now is fucking smart. They're not idiots. Just because Netanyahu
You should go on their podcast. I feel like there's a pretty big queue to go on their podcast. So probably, I feel like I'm quite low on the list of priorities for these two. Okay, listen, we gotta accept where we are.
And sits beside us and we ask them questions, they're not going to instantly go like, oh my God, I love this guy now. And this episode is a perfect example of that. Go read the fucking comments.
again,
People
guys.
doesn't look like we did him a great service. It looks like we had him on and.
Okay, well, let's hear Myron's response.
No, but I want people to know that.
Yeah, no. Look, bro, I'm
What happened to Lonerbox? Can't believe how he fell off. He seems angry about it too. Pretty sure I was pretty angry when I was a left winger as well. It's not really angry. I just get triggered. They're different. Ethan can vouch for you. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ethan, get me on this podcast. What the fuck? Get him off the conspiracies. Let's go.
I'm for free speech. I'm a free speech absolutist.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and knock you guys for having them. I'm just saying the reason why people are pissed off is because he kind of just came in there and just lied the whole time and exaggerated stuff. Talking about burning
but
babies.
I think people saw right through that.
Fucking
Myron,
volume,
I think
man.
you're actually
Whoa.
wrong. I think people didn't even watch the episode and they're just upset with the fact that we had him on in the first place.
100%.
Well, I watched it and he lied to y'all about a bunch of shit. So that's kind of what it is. Like, I know Hasan didn't watch it, so he's over here lecturing like a fucking dickhead, but I actually watched the interview. You lied about a bunch of shit. Like, for
Oh,
example, one of the
shit.
things he lied about was like, oh, they were burning babies alive. That's not true. A lot of the shit that happened on October 7th was a lie. There was no mass rapes. There was no...
Oh, God. True. They didn't burn babies alive. That's actually true. They didn't do that. They did burn, like, children alive in their houses. Like, kids who were younger than 10 years old were burned to death in their shelters or in their houses. Sometime once or twice with their families next, like, hugging them and shit. So, okay. Mass rapes. I don't know. What's 20 plus fucking women stripped? Some of them with the fully, some of them from the waist down. Wonder why you do that. Is that mass, really? 20 plus? 20? Is that mass? If someone kills 20 people, are they a mass murderer? Like, probably. I don't know.
beheaded babies.
Whoa,
There was
whoa,
no-
whoa. Really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh god,
Like,
he's
that's-
fucking
bro,
pilling them.
Look, if you guys want me to really go through this, I can. But a lot of the stuff that went down on October 7th was sensationalized and a fucking lie. Look at your chat. They know I'm telling the truth.
Let me see.
His chat's going facts, facts, facts.
Look at your chat right now. A lot of the shit that went down on October 7th was a fucking lie. And most people don't have the balls to fucking call this shit out, dude. There was no beheaded babies, no babies in ovens.
Okay.
Mass rapes were a lie. Look at your chat, bro.
But murders happened.
They're saying facts.
Again,
but-
beheaded babies, literally, like on day 2 of that claim circulating, there was already government officials in Israel saying, yeah, we've heard this, we can't confirm that it's true, though. Same with the IDF. Like, it was corrected, like, almost immediately it was corrected because it came from a miscommunication with the press. That's, I think Elon Levy retweeted it on the day, and, like, one other person was, like, whoever that woman was, I can't remember who she is. But again, like, no one has the balls to say what. So does Israel not have the balls? Because, like, the Israeli government literally, like, cast doubt on this claim themselves when it was still fresh. They were casting doubt on it. Man, these people are fucking mental. Do you see how quick it is, though? Like, Hasan had so many opportunities to just drop in all these, like, little fucking conspiratard fucking truth bombs. And he just wasted it on going, listen, irresponsible platform. Like, it's so stupid. What a wasted opportunity. God.
Murders happened or no murders?
Chill.
No, murders happened, but
Yeah.
it's very important for you guys to understand.
But it's
how the
very
murders
important
went
to,
down.
yes,
So
it's
there
very
were
important to understand the Hannibal Doctrine. Go.
people that died on that day, right? 400 of those people that were killed were IDF soldiers, which by international law means they are enemy combatants and they're fair game. Next, was
No,
about
by international law, non-state actors do not have a right to just go to war with random fucking people, including soldiers. Yeah, no. Like, just because someone's a soldier doesn't mean you have a right under international law to fucking kill them. You have to have a military objective. You have to have a right of self-defense. You have to have your right to self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter. You're going to have all these. Hamas has none of this. Like, they're a non-state actor.
100 people died. Now, this is the part that no one wants to talk about. The 800 that died, right, that were civilians, we'll also keep in mind that everyone in Israel has to join the IDF at some point and do service. So you can make the argument that they're enemy combatants, but that's fine. Let's go with 800 civilians, right? Those 800 civilians, we don't know who Hamas killed versus who the IDF killed.
Yeah, we do. We know that the IDF killings, because the Hannibal Doctrine was used. It was used in a couple of soldiers. Again, the Hannibal Directive does not mean someone's getting kidnapped, airstrike them so that everyone dies. Fuck that. That's not the Hannibal Directive. The Hannibal Directive is you have to go and save a soldier. Like, you can go and save a soldier, even if the operation, the move you're going to make to save them, might kill them. That's allowed. That's very controversial, and it was invoked a couple of times on October 7th. But the IDF killings of soldiers accounted for like less than 15. That's not even soldiers. That was including the tank fire in one of the kibbutzim. There's about 15 deaths that were likely to have been IDF. The rest of the 1,200, that's Hamas. Hamas did that, or the other affiliated movements, the other militant groups. It's not even close, bub.
Now, I know you guys are probably saying, like, yo, what the fuck? The reason for that, guys, is there was a controversial directive activated that day called the Hannibal Directive.
Hey, there you go.
Is authorization from the government to kill Israeli citizens and or soldiers.
No,
when they're
we're and/or soldiers. He just completely made that up. Okay.
Kidnapped by Palestinian militias. And the reason why they do this is so they don't end up in a position where they have to exercise diplomacy and do hostages exchanges. They learned this with a guy back in 2006 named Gilad Shalit. So what Hamas did when they went in there, the goal was to get as many hostages as possible to negotiate the release of Palestinian prisoners that are in Israel. Again, I'm not here to condone their behavior, but I'm here to tell you guys why they did the said behavior and what really went down and what the intention was. So when we talk about the 800 Israelis that were killed, innocent people were killed. I'm not refuting that. But what I will say is a lot of those innocent people that were killed by the IDF.
A lot of them.
How do we know this?
There's a lot of heavy lifting in that word. A lot.
With Hellfire missiles. Hamas doesn't have that. There was.
I love it how like
their home.
no mass rapes, because it might have only been like between 10 and 20, but also mass numbers of Israeli civilians or large numbers of Israeli civilians killed by friendly fire, even though the highest number we ever got is like less than 20, like 15 out of 1,200. Yeah.
I mean, Myron, this is crazy now. We're going conspiracy theories.
Yeah, hell
This is
no.
not conspiracy theories, bro. This is
It's all
100%
facts.
facts.
100%
But
facts.
Didn't on October 7th, Hamas captured American citizens as well, right?
Yeah, they had like a couple U.S. citizens, but they just got one of the guys
We
back.
just went at. I'm gonna let you speak, but we just went at Hasan for hypotheticals and conspiracies, so we gotta just keep that same energy. And I want to tell you one thing. Wait, I'm gonna tell you really quick. You watched the podcast.
Bro,
Wait, Myron. We went at Netanyahu for. Okay, go ahead.
Hear me out. Everything I just told you, I got from Israeli media. When I'm talking about the people that were killed, the Hannibal Directive that was activated that day, their defense minister, a guy named Yoav Gallant, admitted on October 7th the Hannibal Directive was activated, which means they killed innocent civilians.
No, it doesn't. Oh God, they're such fucking. I love it how he just lies with like reckless abandon. Yoav Gallant said that they used the Hannibal Directive, but Hannibal Directive has never meant kill civilians. It's never been for civilians. It's for soldiers. And it did not account for more than like a tiny handful. I think there was like 1 or 2 confirmed soldiers, like by name, who died because of friendly fire in a rescue operation. Even then, activate the Hannibal Directive, whatever the fuck. That doesn't mean go and kill the soldier. That's not what it means. It means you try and save them. But in the process, like, you can use methods that might end up at, like, have the risk of killing the soldier when you're trying to save them. An example of that might just be like running into a fucking house when there's a bunch of soldiers there and you have to fire, and like you might risk firing in the hostage, like that kind of thing.
I want them to get kidnapped, okay? And none of this stuff is a conspiracy theory. Another thing, this comes from the Israel Times. They could have got the hostages back on October 10th. But guess what? They didn't want to get the hostages back because he wanted to bomb the fuck out of Gaza and invade. Because he used what happened on October 7th as an excuse.
Oh God, there's so much. Again, this deal was never, first of all, it wasn't release all the hostages. It was release the civilian hostages. There's an interview of a Hamas guy. It was actually in Western media. You can find it. But watch how fucking, like, the guy was being so, he was equivocating like fuck on the question of what counts as a civilian hostage, because he kept on equivocating about whether or not a reservist who's not even, who might not have been serving for months or years is still like a combatant or not. And then there was also the fact that Hamas saying that, like, just take the hostages back and then call it quits from there. It's just not a reasonable demand. Like, giving someone the hostages and then just going back to square one after they've just tried to cross your border, they've successfully crossed your border and murdered 1,200 people. That's not how any conflict in the world has ever happened, ever. Yeah.
Or against the entire Middle East. Because Israel wants to create the Greater Israel Project and expand territory.
Right. So I'm going to tell you this. And you said you watched the pod.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know about everything you just said, but I will tell you that
I'm going to pause too much.
Netanyahu on is, as you know, IDF being one of probably the best military out there besides USA, is that they allowed October 7th to happen. Completely unacceptable if you're the IDF.
Greater Israel, let's go. This is it. This is what they want. This is why they withdrew from Sinai. This is why they've gone. They've almost fully withdrawn from Lebanon, barring a handful of hilltops. I don't know when they plan on taking this old chunk. This is just desert. This is mostly. I don't know why they plan on breaking their peace with Jordan. I don't know why. It's because of the Euphrates, isn't it? They don't want all of Iraq. I don't know why they ever bothered with Iran, because they don't even want Iran, apparently. Greater Israel. Fuck me.
If you're Netanyahu to allow that to happen, there's no merit or no understanding of why that happened and how you're not prepared for that, why the response took so long. So with that, I agree with you that there is something there that's missing. In the fact that, how are you not prepared for a situation like that when you're prepared for everything else? I'll agree with you on that.
Well, here's the thing. You know,
that's a
there's
good question.
People out there that say that they think Netanyahu allowed this to happen.
Yes.
And
I think that's what Hasan said, or maybe Nick. Somebody said that earlier.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Nick on that, and let's just go through why, okay? Instead of us saying, oh, he let it happen, let's go over what happened and how he benefited. So after October 7th happened, it's very important that you guys know that he's in the middle of a corruption trial right now for bribery, right? So he was in the middle of getting prosecuted and going to court for this crime. What ended up happening was when October 7th happened, he was able to consolidate all the power and avoid the trial, and the criminal investigation was suspended because they were in active war.
Wait, what is this?
So what he was able.
What is this? Why did this come up in my? This looks like this is the most clickbait I've ever seen. Arab debate on Saddam, hilarious. Wait, what? I just need a break. Okay, I need a palate cleanser from all these Myron fucking talking points. What are they saying about Saddam? Al Jazeera 2007. Okay, so this is after he's been murked. Okay.
هل تؤيد إعدام صدام حسين؟ 4787 88.6 من الشارع لا 11.4 لا. ماذا تقول لهم؟
بس إذا سمحت
بس دقيقة
قبل ما يجاوب
إيه؟
أنا أريد أبدأ البرنامج أو الحلقة. أدعو المشاهدين لأن نقرأ الفاتحة على روح الرئيس الشهيد صدام حسين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الفاتحة على أحد. نحن هنا ندين رجل قتل آلاف وملايين من العراقيين. لسنا هنا لنقرأ الفاتحة على أحد، على ظالم وطاغوت قد سفك دماء.
Is he still praying? I love this channel.
لنقرأ الفاتحة على أحد، على ظالم وطاغوت قد سفك دماء العراقيين. صدام حسين ليس قائدا وليس زعيما عربيا. صدام حسين تسلق إلى الحكم سرقة وغلسة في ليل مظلم. قتل أصحابه، قتل رفاق دربه في سبيل الوصول إلى دفة الحكم. صدام حسين ذهب إلى مزبلة التاريخ.
عليك أن تحترم نفسك وتؤدب ألفاظك جيدا، وإلا أسوي بيك شيء ما تتصور أبدا. عجلي فارسي قشمر. أدمرك بأي أدب
يا جماعة.
احترم نفسك قشمر
يا جماعة.
أنت اطلع
يا سيد
وسيد اللي جابوك
يا سيد
عجمي. هاي وزاتك أنت مواطن إيراني
يا سيد.
أنت عجمي أنت.
Not a Persian, anything but a Persian.
اظهروا هذا انت مواطن ايراني. سيدك صدام حسين. سيد امثالك قاتلكم انت. اتشرف انت عجمي ولك هاي اوراقك. اقراني اوراقك. هذه وزارتك. اذا تحداك اسمك مدفون في بغداد. اذا اسمك صادق يا سيدي. ابوك قتل من الاكراد. اذا اسمك صادق.
To be fair, my dad used to be like this with taxi drivers, so it's not really. It's actually kind of normal.
طلع اسمك. تكذب تحدث. طلع. إذا أنت صادق لك هذه أوراقك الإيرانية. قدمت في شهر 4 قدمت جنسية عراقية. أنت إيراني. هذه أوراق تظهر بأنه قدم في شهر 4 في شهر 5 2004 طلب الجنسية العراقية. أنت مش جزء من مصر عصر. طلع حظك وحظ الحساب الآخر.
يا سيدي أرجوك تجلس.
عجمي قنبلة.
لا يصح هذا الكلام. لا يصح هذا الكلام.
Wait, what did he say? He didn't say shoe, did he? You Persian shoe.
أرجوك تجلس. عجمي قنبلة. لا يصح هذا الكلام.
What's he saying?
يا سيدي أرجوك تجلس.
عجمي قنبلة.
لا يصح هذا الكلام. يا أخي.
Is that actually what he said? Persian ox. You fat Persian ox. He called him shoe on head. What a fucking banger program.
ما يصير سيده وسيده خلفوه. صدام حسين سيده وسيده خلفوه. هذا الإيراني.
طيب نجلس أرجوك. نجلس.
سز.
لنرد بهدوء وبدون عصبية رجاء. ليس هكذا تناقش الأمور.
أنت تعرف أن صدام أعدم شقيقي وأعدم الكثير من أتباعي ومن أقربائي وأعدم خال أولادي، ولكن صدام بالطريقة التي أعدموه بها أثبت نفسه أنه رجل وشجاع، وفعلا أصبح شهيدنا، وسنحج إلى أن نزور قبره كما يزار الأولياء الصالحين. شخص محكوم بالإعدام يعدموه في يوم العيد. هؤلاء الذين أعدموه هم الذين قتلوا سيدنا عمر رضي الله عنه، وذاتهم الذين قتلوا سيدنا أبو بكر، وذاتهم الذين يكرهون عفوا سيدنا أبو بكر ويكرهون كل الصحابة.
المشاهدين الذين انضموا إلينا، يعني كان معنا قبل قليل السيد صادق الموسوي وانسحب بعد دقيقة.
هو ليس صادق الموسوي، أنت تعرف اسمه ليس صادق الموسوي. لا تشارك بعملة
وسيعود إلينا ويبدو أنه سيعود إلينا. أرجو أن يعود إلينا، أرجو أن يعود السيد صادق وبدون شخصنة للأمور رجاء.
إذا أساء الأدب أو تكلم عن صدام حسين
يا سيد مشعان، الموضوع سياسي، قل ما تشاء في السياسة.
تكلم بأدب. لا تسيء لفكر الرئيس الشهيد.
يا سيدي بس يا جماعة،
لا تسيء أين فكره؟ الرئيس الشهيد صدام حسين لقد أصبح إمام المقاومين والأبطال الآن. وجهة نظري، وعليك أن تحترم مشاعري ومشاعر الناس.
يا أخي دقيقة،
لن أسمح
يا زلمة، يا أخي يا زلمة،
لن
يا أخي
سأشتمه إلى آخر البرنامج.
والله
وافعل ما تشاء.
والله
يا أخي وافعل ما تشاء.
أرجع أقول لك أنصحك بالله
لا تنصح لها. اقتلني في العراق. ارسل ميليشياتك لقتلي.
Okay, that was amazing. That was very good. You Persian shoe. Remember, that's when memory used to be good, right? When it was just memes. Memery.
To do was he invaded Gaza. Once he invaded Gaza and killed Yahya Sinwar, the head of Hamas at the time, then they invaded Lebanon. Then after they invaded Lebanon, there was a ceasefire that happened that led to the downfall of Syria. After Syria was toppled, then they launched Operation Rising Lions. And then they used the U.S. to bomb the Houthis. So this was all a systematic plan that is helping Netanyahu stay in power while simultaneously...
The chain reaction in Syria was not part of the plan. Like, what the... Okay.
Allowing him to stay, to get into wars, to expand Israel. This is all about regime change and effectuating destabilization all across the Middle East. This is what they've been doing for a very long time. That's his intention. And that's what went down. So he benefited a lot from October 7th. This is why so many people believe that he at least he allowed it to happen or stood down.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time there's been like a false flag in order to start a war. So
shit.
I wouldn't rule that out.
Wait, but Myron, what were your other biggest takeaways from the interview?
Well, the other thing also is that he didn't talk about why Hamas attacked, right? I think it's very important to understand why your adversaries hate you, right? And the thing in American media that we don't do enough of is we don't talk about how Israel constantly gets into wars, does false flags, bombs innocent people, destabilizes Middle Eastern countries, and the reason why they're able to engage in this reckless foreign policy is because they know that the United States is going to back them unequivocally. And the reason why we back them so much is because we have rich Zionists and high levels of power in the United States across different sections. There's a reason why talking about this topic gets you in trouble and or banned. It's probably one of the most taboo topics, especially before October 7th. It's why I got demonetized talking about Israel and Jewish power in America. They run this shit. And
Jewish power?
There's, that's anti-Semitic. No, it's realistic.
Yeah. So I don't know if Steiny told you, but yeah, what we're going to do next episode, and we were already planning to do this even before this episode came out, was we want to find a really good person to have that represents, the opposite side. And that's going to be the next episode of the Full Send podcast.
I'm going to tell you right now, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, me and Nick are by far the best at this. No one comes close because everyone is too pussy to call out the real problems. Because here's the thing, right?
But Myron, we want someone that's there.
To be fair, in terms of pushing this narrative, I guess so, yeah. To push the Nazi Zog arguments, yeah. That probably is him and Nick, yeah. I don't know who the fuck Hasan was trying to win over with that. Like, it just sounded like someone who used to be on board with the whole like deplatforming, irresponsible platforming debates of 2018, just forgot all the arguments and just is trying to remember them on the spot under immense pressure. Okay.
What was that?
Someone not in America.
Someone not American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that makes it difficult.
What do you mean makes what makes
Well,
it
we're not
difficult?
ruling anyone out, but we're just going to, we'll talk to people. We're going to talk to a lot of our Palestinian friends. We have a lot of them too. I mean, a lot of UFC fighters that we're close with and got their opinions.
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, if you want to get like a Palestinian perspective, that's cool. But what I'm saying is,
okay, wait,
Myron,
bro. Myron, we're seeing a breaking news, a tweet. LMFAO having Nelk interview Netanyahu who's like Ted Bundy doing a podcast with a woman. These dudes are fucking retarded.
Wow, Myron.
But here you are.
Yeah,
I thought we were
so
homies.
how are you any different?
You didn't say that was retarded. You said we're retarded.
Because you're using the platform, right? Just like. I'll give you the chance, but I'm just saying.
No, that was retarded to have him on. It was.
Would you not interview him if you had the opportunity?
Yeah, but I pushed back.
Like I said before, I told y'all.
I'm informed.
If I was going to go interview Netanyahu, I would have interviewed someone.
I've seen all the documents that show the dancing Israelis because there are documents. Because Myron does that thing. He says everything's a document when it's half the things he's referring to are fucking like little Twitter memes, like Twitter videos, 15-second videos.
Else that opposes Israel's government.
Well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
You can't do that at the same time. It's really hard.
We can handle backlash for a week.
Bro. Let's be 100%
with
honest
Netanyahu,
you
Myron.
Guys. Let's be 100% honest, not bullshit. You guys didn't think you were gonna get this much backlash, and now you're
no
damage control.
Bro, are you crazy?
We knew this.
Myron, can I tell you? I'll be honest. Like I said on the pod, I'm not the most educated on this. When we got the opportunity, I started asking my Jewish friends, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna have Netanyahu on the pod. Like, what do you think?" And they're like, "Bro, I fucking hate him." And then I asked another person, and they said the same thing. And then I'm like, "Oh, what do your parents think about him?" They're like, "Oh, they don't like him." So that's when I really knew. I was like, "Dude, this guy is the most hated man on the planet." And I realized that before we did the interview.
I can think of someone who's slightly more hated, maybe.
USA. Myron, this is not a shock to us at all, whatsoever. We actually posted. I posted on my Instagram story. You could check. We're going live on Kick before we drop this pod.
No, I know you guys were. But what I am saying is
the hate is not a surprise whatsoever.
Hold on, wait. Let's finish with Myron and then bring Sneako right after.
No, what I'm saying is.
Oh. Who did that? Oh.
Should we do Sneako for a little bit?
Well, yeah, we don't want to.
I think we're all on the
call.
call.
Both at the same time?
Yeah, what Jen is doing.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
I can join after Myron's done it, unless you want to do a group call.
Hey, Sneako, let's go.
All right, let's.
Yeah,
I have one at a time
mind.
to make it simple. If that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll join. Just join back in.
Let me ask really quick. The chat's also going crazy. Real quick, both you guys. The chat's going crazy to add Destiny. What's your guys'
I
don't mind.
He never went on, did he?
I get along with Destiny fine.
Sneako, what about you?
Sneako maybe doesn't.
Well, I don't see the point. I mean, he agrees. He's he's pro-Israel.
Oh okay. No.
Okay, yeah, he is pro-Israel.
I don't think there's a point of having. I don't think there's a point of having pro-Israel people on tonight.
With them.
Yeah, if you guys are going to get more backlash from that than less.
Well, it could be entertaining.
I think it's entertainment.
I want to hear from Sneako though.
By the way, we can't see either of you.
Well, what was that?
We just don't see your cameras.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Sneako fucking pissing all over his territory like a little fucking cat. Oh no.
I'll turn mine on right now. But yeah, dude, just to finish what I was saying, like
let's let Myron finish, and then we'll chat with Sneako.
Yeah, when I said that having him on is retarded, like yeah, it is retarded because if you're gonna have somebody like that on, you got to have like a juxtaposition immediately set up.
Honestly,
right?
You're right. It is kind of retarded.
You know, and then like again, I'm not shitting on y'all because you didn't know. Like I'm not gonna sit here and try to little bro you guys and be like, oh fuck you guys, blah blah.
Myron, show your camera, bro.
All right, let me hold on. Give me 1 sec. Sneako could talk while I get it on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was talking to
Sneako, hold on.
Sneako, I just want to say your house looks fucking immaculate.
Oh, thank you. This is in New York.
The furniture is not cheap. Furniture is not cheap.
Send me your interior designer.
That's me. I'm the designer.
Damn. Guy's got a fucking zebra carpet.
Are we invited to stay at the crib?
Got to.
Holy shit.
Of course you guys can.
All right, Myron, your camera's good.
All right.
We're not gonna hate Destiny, but he'd at least give pushback. Oh yeah, like against Sneako, yeah, it would be a pretty that would be a bloodbath, yeah. But damn, Sneako did the moves though, didn't he? He's like, I don't know if there's any point in that. Guy's a Zionist. Oh no, damn. Keeping his territory there.
So, should I let Myron finish before?
Yeah, let Myron finish.
I mean, bro, it's up to you guys. I don't mind Sneako on the call. I'm not like
we'll do one at a time. We'll do one at a time because we want to bring on a bunch of people. So you finish up, Myron.
I'll join back in after.
Well, no, Sneako, stay on and just stay. Okay,
go.
So yeah, what I was saying before, bro, is basically the reason why a lot of people don't like Netanyahu is obviously he's committing a bunch of war crimes. And the other reason why people are pissed off is because Israel claims to be our greatest ally, but they've been involved in a bunch of bullshit. They've stolen nukes from us. They were involved in 9/11. They had foreknowledge it was going to happen. This is all.
Did Israel steal nukes from America? I thought they worked with the French to get nukes. What's this story about them stealing nukes from America? How did that? I know the French, like not physically. I know the French lost some nukes, which is, I feel like that's the kind of item that should never get lost. I don't know how you lose a nuke, but, huh. They stole nuclear secrets? Did they steal nuclear secrets from America? I thought France fucked about with Israel to get them nukes. The US lost nukes as well. How do you lose a nuke? Bro. Israel steal uranium was a airplane crashes. Apparently there's no definitive proof. Is that true? Is this just a conspiracy theory? Yellow cake. Operation Plumbat. Okay. The evidence available for our 2010 bulletin persuaded us that Israel did steal uranium from the Apollo, Pennsylvania plant. Okay. We urge the US government. Is this website reliable, the bulletin? No one is knocking on my door. That's someone hammering something into a wall. It's a break-in. That's what's happening. Jonathan Pollard. Oh, I remember that name. Yeah, okay. Huh. Oh, well. Oh, fuck.
All declassified information. It's not a conspiracy theory. Contrary to what people tell you, the guy that owned the building got the biggest insurance payout ever, and he's a close friend of Netanyahu. That they were involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy because he tried to take their nukes away. Like, this is all factual stuff that's come out from declassified documents. And
declassified documents that show that they killed JFK because of fuck off, bro, you fucking liar. Like, what? Okay.
We give these guys an enormous amount of aid, and then they drag us into foreign wars. Like Iraq.
Yeah, this poor guy. Trying to get his foot in the door. Typing away to get into this show. Fuck the hell. Oh well.
For example, in 2003, we had no
Sneako did him dirty. Fuck.
Business over there. Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with Osama bin Laden. We ended up in fucking Iraq, and 1 million people died. For what? Wars for Israel. Because Israel has a reckless foreign policy that we back, that Netanyahu's been a part of for the past 30 years, where we drag Americans into conflict for no fucking reason. And they have way too much influence in our government and with AIPAC, and not even have to register in NEFERA. So that's why so many people have issues with Netanyahu and the Zionist lobby in America.
Myron, my quick question to you is that
Makes sense.
Do you have a problem with, how do you separate having a problem with Jews and having a problem with Israel?
Sure, that's a good question. So there are people, right, that have been vocal about this that are Jewish, right? There's people like Max Blumenthal, Dave Smith, Norman Finkelstein. There's a bunch of people that talk about this stuff, and they talk about the atrocities and the bad foreign policy. Jeffrey Sachs, etc. A lot of intellectuals. But I think the important thing that people need to understand is that most Zionists are actually evangelical Christians, right? But most Jews are Zionists. So this is why, you run into the problems that you have. Not every Jew is a Zionist. A lot of them are actually, anti-Israel.
Have we ever seen the claim that Iraq was on Israel's behalf backed up? No. Like, apart from, I think, when people were saying that Iraq had WMDs, Netanyahu was saying it as well. But if you look at the intel that claimed there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, it was always British and American, and I think maybe even some Iraqi. That's all it was, yeah. You got Myron smoking Lonerbox in the debate. What the fuck? Call Myron out. Yeah, will I go in fresh and fit? Will I fly out to Miami? Where is he? Myron. He's got DMs open. Good.
Real, which is great. But it's not about having a problem with Jews. It's about having a problem with Zionists. It just so happens that most Zionists tend to be Jewish.
Okay, because I think that's a big problem, especially on the internet, is that everyone at this point is grouping two and two together.
So, okay, what are the hot claims here? Because at least he's done the thing where he's rattled off every single thing. Okay. Let's make some notes. They'd be down for a Zoom call. I don't know how often they do that, but if they do it from the Fresh and Fit studio, I don't see why not. So I need to read up on the nukes thing, whatever. Like, Israel and America weren't even allies back then. So I can just say that's true. It doesn't affect me. I'd have to probably learn USS Liberty. Probably have to learn 9/11, Iraq WMDs. Greater, I mean, we already know Greater Israel and why that's bullshit. What other Jewish conspiracies are there? Oh, AIPAC. We can probably get some numbers to show how. I think with AIPAC, the fact is that compared to other lobby groups, the amount of money they put into AIPAC just is not that much. It went quite high. It went quite high after October 7th, but these guys act like it's a consistent thing. These are going to be some great research streams. I mean, some of these are really simple, right? So USS Liberty is just the fact that, like, why 3 or 4 days into the 6-day war, because that's when the USS Liberty sank, right? It wasn't immediately. Why do that in a war that they've already won? The 6-day war was over within 2 hours, right? It was really it's like a fucking, they call it the 6-day war, but it was like really a 20-minute war, because after those initial strikes on the Egyptian airfields, that it was done. There was no coming back from it. Like, they had the upper hand. There was never anything beyond that was going to save. It was a 6-minute war more than a 6-day war. Yeah. So why, like, day 3 or 4, they're like, we need to false flag this American ship when we're already winning? Like, we're done. We don't need help, right? We know what they were like in 73 when they needed U.S. help. And U.S. relations with Israel in 67 were not even particularly close. They weren't close at all. But whatever. 9/11, I mean, I don't know how far the theory goes there. It can't just be dancing Israelis. So we'll look into that. WMDs, I mean, you can look at the Chilcot inquiry. All the intel the shitty intel was coming from the shitty intel was coming from the US and Britain. It was coming internally. Greater Israel, I mean, just why did they withdraw from Sinai? Why are they down to the 5 hilltops in Lebanon? Why did they never settle in Lebanon, even though they occupied it for 18 years? Yeah, AIPAC funding. Yeah, wouldn't be too difficult. Be honest, Israel was smoking Iran. Wait, what? Or Iran was smoking Israel. I don't know what you're saying there.
I think that there's a differentiator between being Israeli and being an American Jew. And like your buddy, like you're never gonna turn down a collab from Aiden Ross, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with Aiden, but like again, Aiden's not committing a genocide right now. Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? It's a completely different situation. And again, like I said before, it's a very sensitive topic. People are terrified to talk about it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But you know, if we're gonna go ahead and really have this discussion, I think people need to understand that Israel is not our greatest ally like they claim. And we give them way too much money and they're dropping bombs on kids and they make us look bad. And they don't deal with accountability for their reckless foreign policy ever.
All right. Myron, we appreciate you, bro. We're going to bring Sneako on.
Fair selection of guests, by
Thanks,
the way.
Myron. We'll see you soon, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy, guys.
Okay, I got to
What? Fuentes, Hasan, Myron, Sneako. Okay.
leak before Uncle Sneako.
I'll get Sneako in here and I'll chop it up.
Well, I want to.
We'll start off. I'll just say what's up.
Just catch up, because I want to hear his opening.
Yo.
I know he's loaded.
What? Yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sneako, can you hear me?
I can't
Gabe.
hear you guys.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on, I know I can hear you.
Just 1 sec, stand, just fixing it.
Talk again.
Can you hear me now?
Do the other one, bro.
Why is this not working?
I can hear you. What? That makes no difference.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Has Hasan had enough time to find someone evil he can compare BB to? Yeah. He's like scrambling. Oh, do we have our goal? We have our gaping goal. Okay. Let's see if we can hook him up. Wait, where is it? Where's the emote? Can you put it in stream suggestions or is it in Discord suggestions? Oh. Huh. No, it's not. Oh, here it is.
Yo.
1 second. Yo, what's up? Oh yeah, I know.
All right, we're gonna let Sneako get adjusted here.
I can't wait to hear Sneako's opening.
It's my favorite.
Sneako's opening.
Second, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Sneako's opening bars are gonna be crazy. I know it.
Discord, come on!
Sneako comes. Sneako's been loading the ammo up. I want to hear this opening rip.
It's like they're kind of doing like a yo-yoing of competent, incompetent for propagandizing these guys. Because Nick did a good job at propagandizing these guys. Hasan did a bad job. Myron did a good job. Now I think Sneako's going to do a horrible job, right? He's going to do the worst of all.
Are they making fun of my? They look like they're making fun of my room.
Yo, chat. We're not gonna have Destiny on tonight because he's pro-Israel, and we've already covered that
why
side.
don't we have him on at the same time with Sneako?
Sneako, you want to go at him?
Fireworks.
Oh, he knows. Yeah, fuck it. Why do they do this thing as well where it's like, well, let's just take one guy uninterrupted and then another guy uninterrupted. Why not let them fucking fight? Come on. Let them brawl.
I'm down to sit back.
Why don't we and you host the debate?
I'm down. No, we should do that.
Well, we could do it.
Yeah.
Sneako, are you cool with that? Or can you hear us or not?
That's Destiny?
Yeah,
I
I
can hear
know.
you now, but it's not my headphones. It is what it is.
No, you're good. I'll tell you when to bring him on. But
Okay.
tell him it's going to be
chat
with
with
Sneako.
Sneako
We got
for
to
a
make
bit.
it clear with
Can
him.
you hear me?
It's
Everything's
cool.
good?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna
Sneako's
do
good.
this.
My oldest friend.
I don't think Destiny comes on.
My
does
friend
he?
of 6 years.
No, he doesn't.
My oldest friend of 6 years.
How was San Tropez? You know, some of my friends are out there right now.
It was a fucking great time. I'm not
Buddy.
gonna lie. We had a fucking great time. We missed you, bro. I don't know if you're still up to that activity, but we would love to have you.
What activity?
No, just going out and stuff.
A
I don't know if
lot,
you still do
a
that.
lot of Haram and San Tropez.
Yeah,
Let's just say that.
I know I've been going out a little more this summer.
Oh, bro, you should have attended. It was a wild time. Wait, Sneako, before we do this, at some point, can we bring Destiny on, or what's your guys' standing right now?
Uh-oh.
We'll wait. We'll talk to you for 10, 15 minutes before.
He really doesn't want to
Okay, hold on.
argue,
I
does
just
he?
fix my audio if we're gonna do this prop. I don't know why the fucking thing.
On our end, you're perfect. And also, did you watch the pod or no?
Every big interview, this happens. This has been happening years and years and years for me.
What's that?
Why is this not working?
Is it us? Like every streamer we've had on has had a problem.
All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna use the speakers.
Sneako, did you watch the interview?
Yeah. I mean, you sent it to me.
So you saw the clips.
You sent. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty much the interview, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at first I was really upset because I'm somebody who hates Netanyahu, and I know what he's doing, and it's a genocide. I think he's worse than Adolf Hitler. I mean, at least the differences or a comparison. Netanyahu's starving people in Palestine right now, And
Hitler didn't starve people? The hunger plan? The siege of Leningrad? Like, millions of people. Whatever.
Not that you guys knew, but I could hear based on, we've been talking about the Steiny, and I've seen the back and forth that you guys had with other people. I don't think you guys know too much about this conflict. And when I was talking to you, Steiny, privately, you were saying, like, oh, I don't want to hear about conspiracy theories. And when I mentioned, Epstein's connection to Israel. But a lot of what they were saying was a conspiracy theory.
Bro, spitting I can't even tell anymore if we have, like, groypers in the chat or fucking tankies. It's so the power of the Jews, eh? The power of the Jews.
You guys know that has been revealed over the past 5-6 years as being true, right? Like the COVID vaccine, for one, they called you a crazy conspiracy theorist. So it's not, I wouldn't write people off that quickly by saying that anymore.
Sneako, I wouldn't say conspiracy.
I'm not against conspiracies.
I'd say off topic rather.
I'm not against conspiracies.
Like, I think having Netanyahu on the podcast and then jumping into...
Bro, chat's got to chill. We're going to have Destiny on.
Yeah, Destiny's going to come.
Destiny's going to come.
But what I was saying, Sneako, is going from having Netanyahu on the pod to what we talked about earlier, we jumped fucking through hurdles to get to what we were talking about. So that was the only thing, is I want to stay more on topic than go into rabbit hole conspiracies.
Yeah. So when I first saw that, when I first saw it was leaked, I was thinking, okay, you guys are close with the Trump administration. We know the relationship
Destiny
you guys
did not come.
We know how Trump is basically owned by Netanyahu, whether or not you like to believe that. You guys have seen the picture of Trump pulling out Netanyahu's chair while he's sitting down, right? Every other world leader, Trump does the handshake and brings him in. Netanyahu, he just like, come sit right here, come sit there. He's the only person that Trump seems afraid of, right? And you guys are Trump supporters. You know the slogan, America First, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. How can we put America first but send $4 billion to Israel every year?
So,
wow.
Wait, what about the point that I think
what a
that
wonderful question,
a lot of people make
Sneako.
this, and I'm not saying this, but I feel like a lot of people want to say that Israel's America's strongest ally. That's what I've heard.
Right. What do we get from Israel as our greatest
No,
ally?
but I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when you talk about him and Trump having that different relationship, I think it's the fact that they probably talk the most.
The most fucking triggering thing about Sneako is just how freakishly incurious he is. He will do this. He used to do this thing when he used to do the Holocaust debates with Destiny as well. He would be like, "How do they know? How can you even possibly count 6 million people?" It's like he's never even asked the question seriously. He's never looked up. How do we know how many Jews died in the Holocaust? Was it 6 million in the gas chambers? Was it like how many people died in Auschwitz versus Treblinka versus fucking Chelmno versus Sobibor versus Belzec versus the fucking Majdanek versus the starvation? Versus the bullets, the Einsatzgruppe, like, how do they record it? Do they use census data, like Nazi documents versus finding out tracing people's family names and seeing if they could be found after the war? All this shit, like, none of it, right? He just asked the question, but he doesn't even care to ever ask it himself. Same thing here. And like, why? What does America get for being allied with Israel? What do they get? What do they get? You can just go on Google. You can just be like, what benefits does U.S. get for partnership with Israel? And you can just look through, and there will be articles, whether from the Americans or from Washington Institute or from Council for Foreign Relations, and they will give you they'll give you answers. Like you don't even need to agree with the answers, but they are there, right? Like Israel and America coordinate a lot on security and research when it comes to weaponry, which helps American security as well as Israeli security. They help each other when it comes to counterterrorism, and a lot of intel that Israel gets is also used by America to foil terrorist operations in their own country. Same with Europe. There's also the fact that they do a lot of coordination when it comes to like funding grants for tech, because tech is quite a big thing in Israel, which means that tech research which is funded in Israel will go on to be produce results and research development that's used in America. One example of this is PayPal. If you've ever used PayPal, the technology or the software that's used in like secure financial transactions is in part because of researchers from Israel who were given grants by America. So it's like, I don't know, but yeah, he doesn't care. He's an incurious, unserious gup, and it's very triggering.
Important, right?
Oh yeah, well, I'm asking you guys as Trump supporters. You guys want to put America first. You don't want to fund Ukraine, right? We don't.
I'm gonna actually agree with you, and I actually said to Netanyahu's face, I was like, "Yo, you're making it harder and harder for Americans to want to support Israel. Like, it's like almost non-existent at this point, it feels, from a social media perspective or just from an American perspective. It's like you go to the average American, you think they're going to be free Palestine. So I agree with you that I don't think that Netanyahu or Trump is making it any easier for an American to want to support Israel.
Trump has failed in a lot of ways. I know you guys are very, pro-Trump for a lot of years, but he said no more wars, and then he ended up bombing Iran. And he didn't bomb Iran for America. We have no involvement in this conflict. He bombed them for Israel. Because if you notice in your podcast, Netanyahu, he always says, you notice this, Kyle, whenever he mentions Israel, the United States, he says we. He says
because
we.
It's two
like,
countries, you fucking
He was.
moron.
I noticed that he was very trying to obviously, go after Americans and speak to Americans. Obviously, that's why he came on.
Well, he was trying to align Israel and America the entire
included
time.
as one.
Yeah.
That's the double speak they've been doing for a long time, and you guys are releasing.
That has nothing to do with doublespeak, okay? Like what? Him saying we instead of Israel and America and talking about them as a unit, like a we. That's doublespeak to you. What the fuck? That's not doublespeak. How is that doublespeak?
Podcast at the worst time ever.
Like, I'm sorry, did you shave off parts of your fucking brain, by accident? What the fuck?
There's the biggest mass awakening to this problem ever now,
Literally.
and you dropping it at the height of that awakening, which is, it's strategic from him because he wants to get some support, but I don't think it's going to reflect well upon him. But as Americans, you guys have a very strong American fan base.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I pressed refresh. I meant to refresh that.
Judd, can we add him back in?
My bad. My bad, boys.
So, Sneako, we're bringing you right back in.
I meant to fucking refresh my screen. My bad.
Is it doublespeak because America and Israel are two countries? It's instead of America, one country, Israel, one country, double them, and it's two countries. It's the only. I don't know.
Let Judd do it. We have Red Bulls? Oh.
That's mine. My girl make
My bad. That might have been the massage.
Can you hear us?
Did Massad just shut it off?
It might have been.
Hey, good one.
Or I might have hit Command R by accident.
Okay, so go ahead with what you're saying.
That's an example of where the joke is less funny when you know it's the kind of thing that he thinks might happen sometimes.
I can't see your camera.
Shit. I think that's a problem on your end.
No, that's you guys for sure.
Judd, he can't see our camera. Are we screen sharing the monitor? Well, he can't see us.
Is there any milk? Oh, thank you.
You can call him again.
You can hear us though, yeah?
Okay, but you can see me. It's fine.
Yeah, we can see you. If you can't see us, I don't know how that.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I was just saying, about putting America first, right? Like do you think that we should spend, as American citizens, you guys have a big American following, you are a representation of young American culture. Should we be giving our tax dollars to Ukraine?
I don't think so.
So why should we be doing the same thing for Israel? Like you said, they're our greatest ally. I don't even know if you believe that. What do we get? What do we get from our greatest ally?
It's a good point. I mean, again, I'm not super educated on it all, but I mean, yeah, it's a good point.
We don't get anything from that. The truth is, they'll say that's the answer. They'll reply with military aid, but the military aid is to fight their wars. I noticed, and I'm glad you guys said this in the podcast. I think Kyle, you said specifically, we have PTSD and trauma from going into Iran, going into Iraq. Yeah. We fought all these wars. And do you know who remember the lie of the weapons of mass destruction?
Not Israeli. He's going to say it was an Israeli thing, even though American and British intel were ramming that fucking theory constantly. They didn't need anyone else to do it for them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they said that? You know who said that in front of Congress? That was Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, who gave the intel? Who was writing the fucking shitty reports? Who was spicing up the intel reports? Was that Israel, or was it because he said something in Congress? God, he's so fucking dense. Wow, we've got whole inquiries done on the shitty intel that led to Iraq, but Netanyahu went to Congress and said it. That's the same thing.
Our government, Iraq has weapons.
Take some fucking accountability for your own country, Sneako. Jesus.
Destruction. They have chemical weapons. We need to go there and stop them. We were in that war for over 10 years. We found out they had no weapons of mass destruction. They need us to have. They need American base in the Middle East, right? Because Israel's so hated. There's a small little nation in the Middle East surrounded by Arab countries and other people that don't want them there because they have nukes, but nobody else can have nukes. We'll say we have to invade Iran because they can't have nukes. Israel has a nuclear bomb, and all the surrounding countries, they're not okay with that. So they need to have some support. They drag us time and time again into the Middle East to go and fight their wars for them with the lie that we're their greatest ally while we receive no benefits from them at all.
I think there have been some benefits. I'm not sure. But there
Name
has
one.
to be.
There's none.
Sneako, you got to know. Well, let me check.
There are none. The response is always military, but we don't need them.
I mean,
our country, we're surrounded on both sides. We have oceans. We have the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, Canada.
I mean, would you say that? Yeah.
I think
You realize America has been a victim of terror attacks, right? Like America's always had that. Like in World War II, they got fucking attacked by surprise in Pearl Harbor. What are you talking about? Like America doesn't need military. What the fuck? All right. America has trade all over the world, and they have to protect that trade with force. Okay.
Sneako, I think that there's some sense of like they have similar ideology, they have similar beliefs that America does. And I think that's why.
No, they don't. They're Jewish.
Israel is not maybe our
We're Christian.
ally, but our most comparative.
No, they don't. And this is where.
In what sense? In where they are? In where they are? In the Middle East? And where they are? Because they do believe in like. And I'm not trying to get too fucking.
Democracy. They believe
yes, exactly. There's democracy there. They believe in all this.
And the Arab countries, they're going to say like they oppress women and the hijab.
I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say that they do have a democracy in Israel. So I think that's maybe why there is that.
But this is the secret that they have. Israelis hate Jesus Christ. They spit on Christians. They're bombing.
I didn't see that one coming.
I went to Israel.
Wait, hold on.
I was never spit on.
We also went to where Christ was born.
You guys were there. You guys went there to kiss the wall, and you were there as a.
That's not even true. We went there and we saw the Christian quarters. We saw the Muslim quarters. We went to where was it? Christ was born, or what did we see there?
Yeah, I think we were hammered at the wall too.
Yeah. So we did go to where Christ was born.
No, at the wall. I can't.
But I'm just Sneako. We're being 100% transparent. Like we saw just they showed us everything.
The difference is.
And Kyle being Catholic, and yeah, go ahead.
So if the United States is a majority Christian country and it was founded as a majority Christian country, the difference is those surrounding countries that you're saying don't have democracy, they love Jesus, and the Israelis hate Jesus. They believe that they rejected Jesus and they're waiting for their own Messiah. That's the main difference, is that we have more in common theologically with those countries than we do with Israel. If you ask any Israeli what they think of Jesus Christ, they will say that he's burning.
Yeah, so as a Christian, you think a Christian would rather go and hang out in Israel or like Syria? Okay. Okay. Noonian Star, thanks for the $5. It's nauseating to see someone spew this much garbage and feel an ounce of shame. I guess I mean not feel an ounce of shame. I don't know. I think Sneako actually does feel a lot of shame. He's like a lost soul. That's why he does it. That's why he's so into this shit. Thanks for the $4.99. Gape me up. Well, I guess we did, yeah. Nice, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Thanks for $5. 9/11 doesn't make sense. When Bin Laden took responsibility and hated Jews, why would he work with them? Good question. Hey, thanks for $5. Are you interested in talking with Sitch and Adam? Those guys are super good faith and worth talking to. I don't know how good faith the Adam guy is, but I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I would talk to them. I don't know if you have to ask them or they have to invite you or whatever. Barabbas, thanks for $5. All this talk of Greater Israel. Well, Israel sure is taking their sweet time. Christ, this is tiring. I know, right? Especially since the first mention I could see of it was of an Arab saying they want to do it was like 1907 or something. Oh well.
Feces and excrement in hell. They have rejected him.
Bro, that's
Meme, thanks to $4.99. You guys need to get educated before you interview. Guy who didn't watch the interview every single time he's made that statement. Yep. S, thanks to $4.99. It's funny that Hasan thinks he's any different than Myron or Sneako. No, there's a lot of ideological diversity there. I don't buy that. No. Myron thinks Israel controls America. Hasan thinks that America controls Israel. You know, there's a very rich intellectual debate happening there, actually. Barabbas, thanks to $5. If you haven't already, you gotta watch the latest traveling ads the Taliban has put out. It's something for sure. Oh yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Sneako.
That's not a conspiracy.
You said if you ask any Israeli.
Yeah.
And
hate
what?
Jesus.
But what? And you're a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So if I ask any Muslim this question and they're gonna give me that response, like that's where I just like I feel like you're grouping everybody together, and I feel like that's where it makes it difficult.
I'm just telling you what's true. Muslims
But you're not.
believe
You're
that
saying
Jesus
if you ask anybody this, then they're gonna give you that response. That's not a fair thing to say about any group of people out there. I'm gonna be honest. And I agree with a lot of things that you said. But
I would
that's
have asked
crazy.
Netanyahu. Those are the hard hitting questions that I would have asked to somebody like Netanyahu, right?
What do you hate Jesus? What? Okay.
If you ask any Muslim this question, they will tell you that they love Jesus, that he's the Messiah, he's the prophet. If you ask Israelis, I can send you videos of Jew.
They would say Jesus is the prophet. Muslims would say he's the Messiah, the prophet. Okay. Listen, I don't know Islam that well, okay? I feel like in Islam they have the prophet, the messenger, and he's not called Jesus. You'd say a prophet.
Of the Israelis spitting on Christians as they walk through. That's the major difference.
I think there's a lot of good people in Israel too that don't agree with what's going on though. I know that for a fact.
I agree, and I'm one of those people, Sneako.
One thing I think too, Sneako, just being from the outside, I think and we said this to Nick too, is that I think Jews just get boxed in as a whole, you know, like obviously there's rich Jews that run fucking Hollywood, but like our guy that runs our fucking chat right now, he's in New York.
Me.
You too, but no, I'm saying our guy that runs our fucking shit.
He's run Hollywood.
Everyone says that.
That's what Nick was saying. That's why he's.
That's what Nick said. But I'm saying they box those Jews in with like normal Jews. Like the guy that runs our shit, he's a guy from New York. He shares an apartment. He's lucky to pull He's lucky to pull a 7 at the bar.
That's the point.
Like, you know, but he gets boxed in, and like he gets hate with all the other elitist Jews, which I don't think that's cool.
Right. I don't think it's fair to categorize like the rich Zionists and Netanyahu, these people, you know, Rabbi Shmuley, with all of Jews, because most Jews that I know are good people. Like Aiden's my best. I'm part Jewish myself. Steiny and I were good friends. And I was talking to Steiny.
Where is this coming from that Sneako's part Jewish? Like, is this like he did a 23andMe and found like 2% or some shit? God, maybe I should become part Jewish. Maybe I am. It's not really how it works, though, for like passing Jewishness down. It's not like they just check you for your percentage. It's typically passed down from the mother, but okay.
Like, man, the hatred is rising a lot. And yeah, Jews should not be responsible for this. I saw Myron talking about it earlier. People like Dave Smith, people like Norman Finkelstein. A lot of people have been speaking up about this properly. You know who one of the major American politicians are that did not want to send more money to Israel? Was Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, yeah, we're educated over here.
He's a Brooklyn Jew, and he's the only one saying, hey, we should stop giving all our... Why is every politician owned by AIPAC? Right?
Yes.
Why does people ask questions? Why is an Israeli flag next to the American flag all the time? Why are they getting all their money from Israel?
By the way, we got, if you're curious, we got zero bag for this, obviously.
I thought you guys did. And
we didn't get the Sneako Rumble back. I promise you that. It was
buddy. I don't have an interior designer. Yeah, not just yet.
We don't have the couch in there. We're furnitureless over here.
You know, 20 people in that room that was CIA and Mossad, even if you weren't aware of that.
No, I'm not. I mean, it probably was. There was 20 people in suits.
But there was not even. There was a lot of there's a lot of women in there too.
I mean, That doesn't really mean that.
That doesn't mean shit. We don't know who was in there. Sneako, we will tell you there was 20 people in there. We don't know what the fuck their role was.
Dude, we were in the Blair House. That's where they like.
Wait, but
that's like a part of the White House where they anyone that foreign comes and that's where they like stay and sleep.
Sneako, this is my
how crazy is that?
That makes it more difficult to conduct that interview. But what I will say is, I agree with you and you're right that I don't agree with a lot of things Netanyahu's done at all. And I think he was way too aggressive. He's been too aggressive with continuing to bomb Arab countries. But I am telling you, like, one thing that I brought up to him was like, it's harder and harder as an American Jew even, to support you. Like, it's becoming nearly impossible with the backlash, with the way that America now feels about Israel. Like, it's becoming nearly impossible. So that was my biggest issue. That's why I don't really empathize with Netanyahu's, because I'm sitting here like, bro, I put America first. Yes, I understand the situation, but it's becoming difficult.
So do you put America first or Israel first?
America. I'm an American.
Okay.
So then Netanyahu is trying to bring us into another world war. All right, and even though this seems like it's subtle right now, Trump bombing Iran was the first step of World War III.
World War III, hey.
Like, that is an act of war. They called it.
God, he's so fucking incompetent, man. What the fuck is that? Like, it's just. He has this is actual just like 12-year-old brain on politics. It's just so dumb. At least like Myron and fucking Fuentes will try to make a narrative that's like kind of convincing if you have no idea what you're talking about, but like, a
7-day war or something short, that was not supposed to happen. And best believe that Iran is looking to retaliate in some sort of way. And we're going to try to blame them again, but we struck them first. So this is not a good sign. And if anybody says they're America first, Netanyahu is the biggest enemy to that statement. Netanyahu is the one that's taking our tax dollars, is the one who's blackmailing our politicians, and is the one who's trying to drag us into another war. Every American should say that we should stay far away from this guy, that he should not have any influence. And when he says things like we need to separate that and draw a line between the two. And I'm very disappointed at Trump. As a former Trump supporter in 2016, seeing what he's doing, it makes me embarrassed. And
You were a supporter in 2020, were you not?
In 2024 was difficult in the beginning. Towards the end, I knew that it would be how strategic it would be to remind people about what America first really was. The reason people like you guys and your fan base
and had it from Hamas Piker's, hey, Hamas Piker, opinion piece on ISIS.
Cell that seemingly, on the other hand, you have obviously ISIS, which is, this terror cell that seemingly never attacks Israel.
I didn't know there were that many.
Seemingly never attacks.
Some of these I think are planning near the Knesset. No, I think these are different ones.
Israel.
2017 was the first
kills
one.
Muslims. Weirdly enough. Okay.
But that only kills Muslims. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the... Okay. How many spams do we have there? They claimed attacks all over Europe. They killed Americans who were in the Middle East. The fuck? Oh, God damn it, man. Holy shit. Oh, what's this? What is it? Man, to be fair, even I forgot about that. So, what was me? Fuck. Okay, so yeah, we've been able to secure a Hebrew copy of the paper that talks about the wizard and the Jew, but I don't believe we've been able to find. Is there an English translation of what they said about it? Because I think they probably just mentioned it. I don't know if they actually copied the entire story, did they?
supported Trump in 2016 was because he was saying America first. Let's go back to that idea. Let's put our country first. We spent too much money and too much time in these other countries fighting wars. We have problems right here. We don't need to keep funding other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit's a mess, bro.
But yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, no, we're gonna bring.
What
about having you and Destiny at the same time?
Every time I have a big interview, he comes around. You guys can have enjoy and have a great conversation with him. I'm sure you'll love him.
Wait, but Sneako, let's get the overall message last time. This has been the biggest negative that we've had. Nick Fuentes, Myron, everyone's talked about it. Us platforming Netanyahu, in a sense where we're trying to interview a world leader. What's your opinion on that? And Hasan.
Yeah, I'll be real. I mean, I like you guys, but I think Netanyahu saw you as a useful tool. I thought that his PR is the worst it's ever been, and I think the Trump administration was somewhat kind of pressuring you guys to do that. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Yeah, then you guys have nothing to gain from that. If you guys are doing it from like, okay, let me be neutral and ask.
We honestly we did have nothing to gain.
But wait, Sneako,
we gained nothing.
Sneako, as a good friend of mine.
I don't think you should have done it from a business standpoint, because I know like you're how good of a businessman you are. I think that was a major mistake.
For sure.
It's gonna.
Sneako, let me tell you this.
Let me ask you this. Did a great job today.
Let me ask you this, Sneako, as a friend of mine for fuck, we've had some good times in the past. But you always preach being brand risk, being all this. This is the most brand risk thing you could ever do. So shouldn't you?
I don't say. I don't.
No, because Israelis control the world, even though apparently everyone hates Netanyahu more than like anyone else on the fucking planet. Oh God.
Preach being a brand risk.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You do preach being a brand risk.
No. I don't preach being a brand risk, but I know how difficult it is to criticize Israel. It's the most.
Oh, clearly, yeah, it's so difficult. It's why all like which channel is on YouTube is suffering because they criticize Israel. Like it's such an entitled fucking crybaby position. Like, what do you?
Shouldn't you have some sort of support or empathy in the fact that it's like, yeah, we're having someone on who's the biggest brand risk of all time? Sure, you might not agree with them.
But there's a difference between being canceled for the right things and the wrong things, right? Netanyahu's hated because he's killing people and starving children. I've been canceled because I criticize Israel. And a lot of people don't know this, and they don't want people to wake up. There was a moment when Kyle was interviewing Andrew Tate, and Tate asked you the question, like, what's the one thing you can't criticize in America? And Kyle's like, the Dems? And it's like, no, you can't talk about the Jews. You can't speak about them.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm not super.
I know you can't.
I'm not super
do it.
tapped in with that.
One of these guys is a Jew as well.
I'm super in. I was super into the, the American politics because I think it affects where I'm from too, and America obviously controls the world, so I was super interested in that. But when it comes to the Israel Palestine and that whole territory and the history of that, I'm really not educated on that entire situation. So
yeah, but the reason why there's a difference between me and Netanyahu when it comes to being a brand risk is I got banned on Instagram for being Free Palestine. They never messaged me why. If we're really gonna look at why I got banned off of all of social media,
then why did you say it was for criticizing Israel, you fucking idiot? Like, you were saying all kinds of mad shit about fucking women and doing the wasn't even one of the little bits that he did about some kind of violent or like a joke rape threat or something like that. Yeah, what the? Oh, it's because he criticized Israel, obviously. God, man, anti-Semitism. This is what it does to you.
Platforms. It wasn't really because of misogyny or because of
Oh, he defended. He glazed Kanye's song. He hung out with Fuentes a whole bunch. He does Holocaust denial. He did defend child marriage.
Information, election misinformation. It was because I criticized Israel. That's the one subject you can't criticize. And you saying,
but how do you know that for a fact?
I mean, look at the pattern between all the people you just had on. Myron has been banned on Instagram at the same time.
Hasan's fine.
Israel. Nick Fuentes.
What about Hasan?
The difference. The leftists have a shield. If you wave the transgender flag as well, you have a different shield. That's the reality.
Wait, did Hasan wave that flag?
Yes, the two most powerful. Yes, the two most powerful entities: Israel, the Jews, and trans people. Okay.
Yeah.
Hassan's waved the flag.
How about gays for Gaza though? That's one thing we could agree on, no?
See, that's Hassan's thing. Like, I mean, that's what they
That's
do. I think that they do that.
How does that work?
That's fucking crazy.
I don't agree with that. Like, that's the whole, Zoran Mamdani's doing that too. But it's kind of embarrassing. But that's how the whole movie.
We gotta send Gabe to one of those.
Is Mamdani doing or preaching gays for Gaza?
Is Mamdani pushing? I mean, he was at a pride parade and he's also pro-Palestinian. He's kind of like a Hasan, but it gets complicated. The point is, this is
I
the
saw
one
the
thing.
interview with Mayor Adams. Don't worry.
Fucking stay of this.
So
man.
what
the
with
fuck?
Mayor Adams?
Yeah, I had a great. Let me show you something real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm just trying to take in how rich you are. But yeah.
That is a very.
I know that white couch is not
expensive looking shithole.
That's what you notice. My white couch.
Restoration Hardware is all over that place. Chat. This guy's living good.
So look, I do an interview with Eric Adams the next day, the New York Post, the day after Trump bombs Iran. So this is major news right here. Ayatollah, you see Trump on the front. Page 2 of the New York Post is the New York Post calling me an anti-Semite and also putting at the top, it says Free Palestine. This is a vlog I made about Free Palestine and they put that here. They call me an anti-Semitic, all this. They mention how, things I've said about Palestine and Israel.
Display ass looking home. It does, doesn't it? It looks like it's on display in some fucking John Lewis. Not even John Lewis, but somewhere like more wanky, more wank. Imagine more wanker than John Lewis, and you got this place.
To make it a headache for people like Eric Adams to have me on.
Yeah.
Right. This is the number one brand risk thing.
Yeah.
This is the control of the media, the control of these, of these major establishments and everything that you need in order to have a career. Yeah. That's how they'll shut you out. Netanyahu controls these. People just don't like him because he's killing people. That's the difference.
No, we understand that. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
Dr. Sneako.
Sneako's been a friend of mine for a time. It's good to see you again.
How about? Yeah, good luck. I'm gonna watch the full podcast on stream right now, and I gotta say I do appreciate you guys having these conversations with difficult people.
I mean, bro, like we said, we're gonna have next episode is gonna be someone that has the complete opposite point of view. So I think that's our duty, and we understand that, and that was our plan all along. We're not just doing that because we were
okay. Let's separate. Let's separate from the men from the boys. Thanks to the $5. Loner, thoughts on Israel's recent actions? It looks pretty bad right now. Yeah, I've said as much. It's very bad. The GHF plan is fucking mental. Wait. Okay. Is it Medi time? We're still not done. We still got Hasan and Adam Friedland for. Jesus, how long? They spoke for half an hour.
A lot of years. I think that he does well in the Palestine issue, and I'm not a socialist.
Who does?
I think you guys should press him.
Shit, brand risk in the chat.
Sneako.
Sneako.
It is banned. What the fuck?
Well, unban it. Sneako should be able to be banned.
You guys do that?
Masad. It's Masad.
Chat. They kissed the wall and then banned Sneako's name. Unbelievable.
So Hasan.
No, they're spamming stars on purpose.
Yeah, Hasan wants to come back in. So yeah, I feel like we got cut short. He wants to come back in. What do you think about Hasan?
All right.
Last words. What do you think about Hasan?
I mean, we've had a back and forth for a lot of years. I think that he does well in the Palestine issue, and I'm not a socialist. I think you guys should press him on that. I want to hear what you guys think about
part?
Socialism.
Is he more of he's a Bernie Sanders socialist guy?
Yeah, I mean, socialism has never worked in the history of the world, and now they want to bring it in America.
How the fuck? Wait, Hasan's a socialist?
Slam dunk.
Yeah.
Hasan's the richest between all four of us.
Bro, my brain's being dragged in like many different fucking...
Sneako, is that fair? Hasan definitely has the most money out of all four of us.
Hey, Steiny, we're trying to lower the anti-Semitism, and you keep talking about money.
No, I'm just saying, like, for a socialist to support that when you're the richest guy, it's weird. That's the problem.
Wow, good one.
I would love to see you guys question him on that.
All right, well, give us a question to ask him.
He'll never get out of that pickle.
Give us a question to ask him.
When has socialism ever worked?
Ooh.
All right, I like that.
Fuck, I wish
It's
I-
good to see you, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
I wish I had the Vine boom for that one, for that fucking destruction.
All right, take it
All right,
easy,
brother.
my
We'll
boy.
see you soon.
All right, bro. Riyadh.
Absolutely shagged.
Fuck.
I like Sneako.
I know.
He's always been my boy.
I need a water.
Baby, can you get a water for Kyle? And do you know where my Spellegrino is? Is that mine with the lemons? All right, let's get Hasan back in here because he's gonna come in.
What's this? Dan can't tweet.
I have something here that was sent to me from an excerpt from the interview that you guys conducted, where you asked him if he prefers, Burger King or McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, you asked a Houthi that. Oh God.
And it's really
Sorry. Someone that you introduced as a Houthi. Sorry. Whoa.
interesting because people have yelled at me for doing this. Is there a KFC there? They're everywhere. I don't think there's a KFC in Yemen, dog.
He says they have two.
Oh, they do have KFC in Yemen? That's crazy. Okay, that's sick.
Is there a KFC in Yemen? No way, dude! Holy fuck! There's a KFC in Yemen!
I have
And hot. That's what he does. Is he definitely went and got his research. I'll call him out right now.
Honda.
I want to get Destiny with Hasan. Hasan's such a puss, though.
Hello?
Are you good now?
Mr.
Oh, you changed your fit. You
Mr.
changed your fit.
DDoS hacker.
No, we have this is the same problem that's persisting with what do you call it? With the Phase Boys too, and like Kai Cenat. Anyone that uses IRL Toolkit's been getting clobbered. Speed has been having issues too. We all use the same service as like a mediator between OBS and Twitch. And their servers are getting fried, which is why I was unable to continue streaming. So I had to shut off my stream and restart it.
Oh shit.
Wait, you
Do they
changed your fit
please
as
fix
well.
the volumes? Please fix the
Yeah, I
volumes.
put on a jacket.
You threw on the black jacket.
You got to look good for the big interviews, all right?
Yeah. No, it's cold in here. All right, so we were talking, for those of you in my chat who are just tuning in, I'm talking to the Nelk boys. They interviewed war criminal with an arrest warrant out by the International Criminal Court, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. This is part two of the conversation that we were having. So, I was giving you guys an analogy, a hypothetical.
Oh God, please just be like, yeah, okay. And just for our chat, we're interviewing Hasan Piker. He interviewed someone who he introduced as a Houthi designated terrorist organization, terrorists who have committed numerous war crimes against their own people and against civilians in the Red Sea. Kidnapped a bunch of Filipinos for over a year and said they did it for Arabs in Palestine for some reason. Have engaged in sex trafficking, by the way, when they arrest women for not wearing their fucking hijab properly, or for the one woman who was a model, the Ethiopian Yemeni lady who they arrested for modeling for haram behavior, and then the security officials passed her around and made her carry out sex acts on them. That's a true story. They did that with numerous women, actually. But the left doesn't want to talk about that.
Hold on, Hasan,
Yeah, let's
1
do it.
second.
Let's spice it up.
No, hold on. I told Hasan one thing. Hasan, you want absolutely nobody in here, even if they're allowed on Twitch? Real quick before I cut you off.
No, I can't. I can't have someone who is not allowed on Twitch to be on the.
What about Adam Friedland?
Oh, Adam Friedland's fine. Yeah.
Okay, you can add Adam.
Of course.
Let's spice it up for part 2.
Okay, we'll bring Adam in now. But wait,
That's not spicing it up.
no, it's not.
What do you mean?
But,
It's just
no,
a little-
It's not. Adam's not gonna spice it up. Adam is a comedian. He's funny.
Yeah, that's what
But
I mean by
Hasan,
Adam is
spice.
also a good friend of mine.
That's what I mean by
Yeah.
spice.
Hasan, go ahead with what you were saying.
Okay. So, I mean, he's not gonna spice it up, but he will make.
He'll make it funny,
he will
yeah.
turn the conversation into a silly direction. But what I was asking you guys is, the reason why I said Adolf Hitler is because it's a comparable crime, right? We were using that as an analogy.
It's not a comparable. What the fuck, man? He spent all this time thinking about how do I explain to these these kids that Hitler and Netanyahu are both doing a Holocaust.
I was using that as an analogy because, like, we both understand that he did a horrible crime.
Holy shit.
Hello? Adam, we need to turn your cam on. Oh, hello.
Just one sec.
Who's there?
We're gonna fix all the
Is
cameras.
this the stream?
Oh, this is Adam?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, fuck.
How do I see the other people on this? I've never had. Bro!
One sec, Adam.
There, turn on your camera. What up,
Adam's
Adam?
camera's on.
No,
I think it's
Adam,
just
you're
us
fine.
three.
My camera's on.
I can hear you.
We're fixing ours.
We're fixing it. We have our guy doing this shit remote.
Aaron?
Okay.
Is that you?
Adam, what's going on, bro?
Who's in the pink square right now?
It's
Me?
the Nelk boys. It's Steiny and the other Nelk.
It's great.
Hasan, say his
Hasan,
name.
you know my
sir.
name, bro.
Hasan, say his name. Do not be disrespectful up in here.
Aaron.
The volume has been out of balance
Did
for
you
the
watch the
entire
episode?
thing, hasn't it?
I did. It was amazing.
Hasan,
bro.
you can't
Thank
say
you
my
again
name?
for having us on, or having me on. I appreciate it. That was funny.
Kyle, right?
You know my name, bro.
It's Kyle.
Yeah.
Is Steve there?
No, it's just me and Kyle.
What are you guys doing? Hitting happies, doing zaps.
No
Dude, I
zaps.
watched so much of your guys' stuff for like 2 weeks.
No
What's
zaps
going on? Why do
tonight.
you want me to stay?
What's going on?
Oh, by the
We
way,
Hold
Aaron,
up.
you
Our guy's
guys-
just fixing this shit right now.
No, I want to tell Aaron something. My guest this week is G Herbo, and you were talking shit to me that rappers would never accept me, and he's by far he's accepted me.
I love G Herbo.
Stop moving, Johnny.
It's also G Herbo. The H is silent, bro.
What?
The H is silent. It's G Herbo. But yes, I love him.
Whatever. Yeah, we're very good. We text and stuff.
Can you guys see us?
What is going on right now?
Adam, how do you know
On the street.
Hasan? That's a real question. Is how are you and Hasan allies?
I know Hasan from the Bund, from the workers, the People's Workers.
Damn, we're
Party
actually
that
getting
we're
gifted. We're actually getting subs during this. Shout out Jenny Full Send community.
Okay, so Adam.
Imagine getting
Why can't I
subs
see
during
you guys,
this.
and why am I
Give
on
us-
this right now?
give us a sec.
We're
Give
gonna
us
get
a
in there
sec.
in a sec. But Adam, we have Hasan's here. It's me and Kyle here.
They
We've had
interviewed.
5 different people in here, and now Hasan. Oh, there you go.
Oh, boom!
What's good?
It worked.
Kyle Forgard.
What up, Adam? Good to meet you, bro.
This guy, Aaron.
Adam's a
course,
great guy.
of course.
Adam's a good guy.
I know Adam seems like good vibes.
He's a troll, but he's a good dude. I fuck with
He
him.
is a
What is
troll.
going on right now?
Massive
Can you guys
troll.
please explain
Hasan will explain.
Yeah, wait, Hasan, why don't you go ahead and debrief Adam on what's going on as you changed your fit before you lagged out?
Yeah. What happened is these guys, the Brilliant Minds of the Nelk Boys podcast, went and interviewed war criminal Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and now they're getting they did.
Guys, in the middle of a war?
Dude, a genocide.
Adam, it's a war leader. We had to do it.
You know, 60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We understand it. We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are going to have a pro-Palestinian.
Also, doesn't Hasan constantly post tweets from Dropsite and they interview Hamas people like all the fucking time? Like or they'll source Hamas people in their journalism.
We do not.
He's charged with as a war criminal by the ICC. You could have Slobodan Milosevic on.
We would have a lot of people on.
Would have anyone on.
They said they would have. They said they would have Adolf Hitler
No,
on.
we did not.
We
say
never
that,
said that.
Hassan, twisting
Okay,
words,
they
giving
said they would have
hypothetical
Osama bin
bullshit.
Laden on,
None of
but
that.
I thought they did say they would have Hitler on. You had a fucking Houthi on, Hasan. Oh my god, I can't. Why is that just not? You introduced the kid as a Houthi and then glazed him for an hour. I don't suppose you think there's no evidence that they stole aid, so much to the point that it exacerbated the famine. and resulted in the UN saying that they didn't even see any point in sending aid over for certain periods because they couldn't guarantee that any of it wasn't just going to get diverted to the Houthis. And you compared them to a fucking anime hero. I can't. It's so disgusting, man. It's so...
Not Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Hitler is too long ago. It's too hypothetical of a question.
I'm catching up right now. Did you press him? Did you you dunked on him?
We asked him what was his response to start.
It's okay. We know he's a genocidal warlord comparable to Hitler, but listen, trust me, we dunked on him. Oh, that's okay. Why the fuck do people pretend that dunking on him would have made any fucking difference to how they feel about this interview? Like, it's so stupid.
Starving children in Gaza. Could he have stopped October 7th? Is he looking to have regime change in Iran? And we told him that Americans don't want to see another regime change war in the Middle East.
We've told him
he's been.
Bro, did you? That's all good, but did you? Do y'all get any Vine boom moments? Y'all get any? Did y'all get any good bass moments? Y'all meme on him? Y'all clown on the guy? You don't get any of those clips where you finish it with a Vine boom and
base?
They asked him if he was starving children in Gaza, and he said no. It was Hamas starving children in Gaza. Adam.
Wait. Answer this. Hasan, did they glaze?
I don't know. I haven't seen the excerpts yet.
I was editing the G. Herbo.
Neither of them have seen the interview. Okay. Oh, I needed to get the fat ox. I need that for a soundboard. And how many? I probably need quite a few. I need quite a few soundboards from this. How many are there from this reel? Hang on.
Brother, can you open the larder and can we have our shopping? Because that selfish yank has just eaten all the fucking food and me and Imogen have got nothing to eat for breakfast now. He's had 4 bowls of cornflakes yesterday. 4! And they're not just normal bowls. They're fucking mountains of cornflakes. Like a mountain and a whole bag of sugar. We're running out of sugar.
Well, how many clippables are there? There's selfish yank for sure. 4 bowls of cornflakes. Fucking mountains of cornflakes.
Well, because of him. And now fucking...
Bibi is not an IDF soldier. How is he comparable to a Houthi? I'm just going to assume you have no idea what the fuck I'm referencing because that is the most brain dead question. The reason you would compare it is because he took someone on who he believed was a Houthi, even if it was just like a regular Houthi grunt, or even just like a Houthi propagandist, maybe not even a fire, but he took him on and glazed the organization for an entire hour. No critical questions, nothing challenging the fact that they have kidnapped fucking women and abused them and sexually abused them and passed them around the fucking security forces to rape them like repeatedly, or the fact that they kidnap Ethiopian and Somali fucking refugees who are trying to go to Saudi Arabia and force them to the front lines and make them fight for money, or the fact that they have diverted so much aid and stolen so much and kidnapped so many aid workers that it's resulted in exacerbating a famine that killed like 80,000 kids, or the fact that they have persecuted the Christian and the Yazidi minorities, not to mention the Jewish people, the last 5 of them, wherever, who are left in Yemen. And Hasan asked this kid if that who he thought was a Houthi soldier at the time, or just a Houthi propagandist, and asked him if there's a KFC in Yemen. And he's got the fucking nerve to come up and like purity test anyone in any interview he's ever done, ever. That's not even to mention the debates he does where he just fucking loses half of them to people like Willie Mack or Ethan. Getting fucking clowned on Jewish history where Ethan was more correct than he was on the question.
Goes and finishes off the whole thing of cornflakes, massive mountain. And me and Imogen wanted to have them and now there's none. And oh look, there's parajotes. Parajotes are good for you, they're healthy. Why didn't you have them, you fat ox?
I need to soundboard the shit out of this, and I'll put it in Discord maybe, and we can get... I definitely need fucking mountains of cornflakes and selfish yank. Porridge oats. Imogen's a name. It's a girl's name.
Interviewed. It's one of my finest moments, and now you've ruined my day. What are you guys doing? Wait, guys, can I get Aaron?
That's just what we do. That's just what we do. So listen. That's just what we do. So I think what we did is we had someone on right now. We
but he
wanted.
Watched,
Aaron, let me finish. And I want to tell Hasan too.
Adam.
I think this is actually going to be a great thing. If everyone thinks we have such a big platform, would you guys agree or no, Hasan?
Yeah, you guys have a decently sized platform.
People wouldn't be pissed, right, if we didn't have a big platform. So if we have such a big platform,
no, I think people still, your fans would, depending on how they feel about it, they probably would be.
Right now, we just had Netanyahu on. A bunch of people watched it. I think a lot of people saw through what he was saying. Now, already on the same day, we've had 3 people on with complete opposite viewpoints: Hasan, Sneako, Myron,
Nick Fuentes. So
what? And then,
okay.
Wait. Let me finish.
Don't loop me in with those guys.
I said opposite
viewpoints. Don't put me
Don't loop me in with those guys, even though my talking points are like more than half the same as theirs on this conflict. Shit. No, we're very different. Okay. I think those guys think Israel controls America, whereas I think America controls Israel. We're very different.
The same category as these guys.
Let me finish. So already we've had 4 people with opposite viewpoints.
Don't go on me with these guys. These guys think 0 rapes happened. I think at least 1 might have. Maybe. Who knows? Like, it's a war, I guess.
Day. And then the next episode of the Full Sun podcast, we're gonna have someone very, very reputable with the complete opposite viewpoint of Netanyahu.
Don't let me in with these guys. They think Israel was behind 9/11. I think 9/11 was way too base to have been done by Israelis.
Yahoo. So I personally think, and listen, there's a lot, you guys got to understand though, Hasan, there's a lot of people, I know, there's a lot of people like Hasan though that are educated on this issue, and there's a lot of people like myself who are really not, and I know there's a lot of people watching right now that are the same way as me, that just read shit and don't know what to believe. And you read stuff and you really don't know what to believe. Like, I know, Hasan, that might be tough for you to understand.
Well, then just become a propagandist.
But there is a lot of people that don't know what to believe. So I think what we're doing
you're giving more reason as to why it's bad that you guys interviewed him.
Because I think people are going to listen to
No, that's
Netanyahu.
the problem. Because
they're already listening to you, Hasan. A lot of people in our audience have honestly never heard of you. And I'm sure likewise, they've never heard of us, or they dislike us. So we're putting you on to our audience now, and they're hearing your point of view. And then next week on the podcast, they're going to hear someone really reputable with the complete opposite view of Netanyahu. So I personally think right now we're going to bite the bullet, and I think we're going to take a lot of flack. But I think within a week or 2 weeks' time, we're actually going to be educating our entire audience and probably the entire internet on everyone's point of view.
You're doing crisis PR right now, and I can tell this is really stressful because everyone's mad at you. But please,
it's not, bro.
You guys just do pranks. People like to see you guys partying. Why you guys keep?
We'll still party, bro.
In the middle of you know, people can't leave.
Adam, we're still party.
Adam, we were in Central Pay for a few days after this.
Half the people that live there are children.
We agree with you.
People that died are children. Why are you wading into that? I like you guys because they like to party. You hit zaps. You do happy dads. You guys are fucking chill. I like to see Steve will do a chug. Just do it. Why are you touching that?
Adam, I agree.
Out of interest, why is Hasan not complaining that they just platformed Myron and Fuentes to spew like proper anti-Semitism unchallenged, and they nodded along with it? Why did Hasan not have an issue with that? Is he going to mention it later, or? Or is that okay because they were only on to shit on Israel, even though it's completely from an anti-Semitic lens, like a purely traditional anti-Semitic lens?
Adam's right. We
Hold on.
we don't have to do it.
It is a brutal blood. It is
They
blood.
are murdering people like Netanyahu. Well, we don't care apparently if you murder anyone because Hasan glazes the fucking Houthis, so no one gives a fuck about how many people they've murdered. Hasan is a lefty. The worst thing should be platforming a Nazi to him, right? Platforming Nazis like Fuentes and Myron, that should be a huge concern to us, especially since they were clearly swaying these guys a little bit. Like these guys had agreement, or at least their chats did. They didn't seem like they were that perplexed by what was being told to them. But he will.
That's
It is
Adam.
violent.
That's a problem. That's a
Why
problem.
are you
I'm gonna tell you
guys-
something. Adam, I'm gonna tell you something.
You're
We're
not-
gonna
if
we're
you're
gonna
not bold,
Adam.
don't touch it.
We're gonna drink. We're gonna hit zaps, and then we're also gonna interview fucking world leaders. When it comes to it, we're gonna do all
It's not.
three.
It's not just like, dude. You're not like interviewing the prime minister of Albania. Okay, you're like, this is a guy.
Hassan,
If
Hassan,
you
you're
did,
being-
if you did that, no one would. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't be doing this video or this video call anyway. If you were doing that, nobody would give a shit.
It wouldn't have happened if he'd even interviewed like the Ayatollah. Like he would, not from Hasan anyway. Or if he'd interviewed fucking like Nasrallah when he was alive, or if they interviewed Sinwar, Hasan wouldn't have cared. I think Netanyahu might be the only world leader there is that Hasan's got an issue with these guys talking to.
We planned to do this stream. You can check my story. We planned to do this before.
God save
Hassan,
Albania,
you're coming in
true.
here all hot, but it's like, bro, we told you exactly what was gonna happen. I texted you ahead of time. You know we're gonna have someone who's pro-Palestinian on the other side, and you're coming in
Okay,
here
but
with
that
all this
doesn't
animosity, and it's just
change
like,
the
dude,
dynamic.
you're trying to
I
press us
found
in
out
front of
about
your
it. I
audience,
found out
you're
about the
trying to prove
interview
a point,
after
but
you
it's
had
like,
already conducted
You
it.
haven't even watched the episode. You're trying to come in here and just press.
I know,
the
but
fuck
if
out
you
of
were
us.
to if you
You're
were to have
uneducated
asked me
just as
ahead of
much
time,
as
I would have
we
told you
are.
not to do it.
Even if he watches it, he'll still think the same thing.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to press him.
I've watched so much Nelk. I love you, boys. Listen, boys. This is let's zoom out. This is a problem with today, with our society.
Yeah,
Even the fact
okay,
that you're
wow.
talking to Sneako and Myron from Fresh.
Oh, there we go.
It's
Hey,
not like, these
what a
are
boss.
content creators. These aren't fucking historians. These are
Yes.
people that like. These are the fact that like the experts on the on.
Just
on,
wait, no one who's talking. Hasan's not a historian or an expert. Okay. What, Finkelstein? Is that what we're going to say? Because Finkelstein's not a historian either. He's a political scientist. Okay.
It's politics and it's war and it's violence. There are people that study this, right? It's just not everything's content, guys.
Okay, bring on Benny Morris then. Just ditch everyone and bring Benny Morris on. Solved. That's okay, isn't it, Adam? You'd be fine with that.
But that's what we're gonna
Just
have
do
on the next episode, bro.
You had Coke. Jesse would have never allowed this were he here.
Oh,
Jesse, he
don't
told
hit
me
me with
he
that.
watched the second episode.
Adam
I don't know
comes
enough
very-
about the
he
Nelk
comes very-
history.
He comes very
That was good.
studious.
I don't know about the Nelk
Everything that's
history to
ever
know what
happened
Adam
with
is
Nelk.
saying, but it seems to be
That's one thing about
impactful.
Adam is he will fucking know everything
That was
that's ever
good one.
happened.
Adam was-
Do
that
you
was
think
good.
that? Do you think that they just didn't realize? You think that you think it's banality of evil, guys? There's a book by this lady Hannah Arendt that I want you guys to read, "The Banality of Evil," and I want you guys to get back to me on it because it's sometimes like it's sometimes I'm doing a podcast. It's just a podcast, but you don't realize that there's like a gravity there. There are powerful people wanting access to your fucking platform that have an agenda. It's just like when I was asking about like Zuckerberg, right? He like his stock plummets when he's like doing the censorship.
No, the banality of evil was about bureaucrats who were orchestrating the Holocaust. It's not about some random fucking journalist shitter who interviewed Hitler at one point. Like that's not the banality. Okay.
Around COVID, and then everyone's like, "You're anti-free speech Democrat," and then he puts a chain against muscles, and then his stock goes back up. But like it's this, everyone that says you're an anti-free speech Democrat is like, "No, you're sick because you do bow and arrow." But he's like, he's going on podcasts now because it's his stock price. It's an advantage for them, and it's like
They're
guys,
using
like,
you guys. They're using you guys to look good.
We
Hassan,
understand that,
bro.
Get
Why does
numbers.
anybody,
They wanna
Hasan? Sorry, Adam. I don't mean to cut you off. Hassan, anyone
Yeah.
goes on a podcast to promote whatever they're doing. We're aware of that.
Yeah, but they're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting
Bro,
a
we had
genocide.
fucking
That's the
O.J.
point.
Simpson on. We had Andrew Tate on. It's the same shit. This one might be a little bit
None
more.
of those things.
You're right.
You
They
do
don't
realize
match-
that, like,
No, I agree with you. They
this
don't match
is the one instance. This is the one instance where it's the worst guess you could have.
We
Because
agree.
these
We
guys
agree.
are bad
We
people, but what you're
100%
talking about is the
agree,
worst person.
It's the most hated man on the planet.
But Hassan, we agree. But
To Aaron's-
also, if we're not
to
going to do it,
Aaron's
then who's
credit,
not
I'm
going to
gonna
do
protect
it?
you, Aaron. I'm gonna hook your ass up. I said BB to that guy Yossi, who's your Mossad handler, and Aaron said, "Who's that?" He didn't know that. He didn't know that he's named BB. I'm just that's protecting you. No, you said who's that, which is good. I mean, like, guys, just it's like unless you know, like, it's wading into fucking like it's violence and they're bombs and
No, Adam,
rubble
you're right.
and
You're right.
dead
You are right.
people.
We
Like,
definitely
you don't have
realize
to do content about it. You don't have to do like we're gonna fucking collab with him. We're gonna collab with BB and Bonnie Blue. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just a way. It's a sign of the world nowadays.
Adam,
It
you
is.
would have him on in a
If
heartbeat. I'm
you
gonna
had
be
Trump
honest.
on,
Adam, you would have him on in a heartbeat. If you had the
fuck-
opportunity, you'd have him on in a heartbeat. So don't try and.
BB?
Yeah,
I would
fuck
have
yeah, you would.
only if Bonnie Blue was there to defend Palestine.
You would have
No,
BB
guys,
on in a heartbeat. Don't
With
try
who?
to try and fucking fade.
With
this
who?
out.
There's a
You know what? Like, I am very I know a lot about this subject.
Yeah.
You know, that even maybe is a step, a shade beyond. It's a little
Bonnie
bit like
Blue, okay.
it's very painful.
He's
for me.
trolling,
Aaron,
okay.
your grandparents were the Holocaust, right?
Yes.
Okay, please. Our parents' generation, right? We're told that like we have to protect these people, and if we don't protect these people, the Holocaust will happen again. I'm Jewish, by the way, Kyle. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really read as Jewish, but okay.
I honestly am
Our
not going
parents were told that,
we
right?
could tell
And
right
they're really
away.
scared. They were really scared because they knew
When did these guys swap seats? When did they swap seats?
new Holocaust survivors, right? And it really freaked them out. And they were like, "We got to protect Israel and stuff like this."
Yeah.
But like, it hasn't protected Jewish people. It is.
I agree
the
with you.
people that
That's why
live
Adam,
in
you haven't
Israel,
watched
It's
Adam.
been a failure of a project. Think about the way Jewish people were treated prior to the
It's
Holocaust.
so
For
fucking
1600 years.
It's so fucking gross, man. It's like I don't know, how do Israelis feel when because like Jews went through obviously like 2,000 years of fucking tunnels of shit before they got to some level of equality or like respect or equal rights as human beings on this planet. Okay, about half of them achieved that by going to Israel. The other half got it by going to the diaspora, whether it's like in Europe or mostly America, I guess was the big one. So the problem was that America closed its doors in 1925 almost completely to Jews. Some Jews got into America, but mostly no. Like mostly since Johnson Reed, which was quite deliberately designed to keep Jewish migrants from Europe out. So they didn't say Jews, but they did behind the scenes, and they would admit to it at other points. They were trying to bring Jewish migration down. So they targeted these European countries and put quotas on it to make sure that the Jewish population, as well as other like Italians and stuff like that, wouldn't grow in the United States in the 1920s. And then if you look at the immigration, because again, Israel, or British Mandate Palestine at the time, was not a particular hotspot. So you can see here the number of immigrants to the mandatory Palestine is quite low. Why this big jump here from 1924, 25? That's Johnson Reed. That's America closing their doors. And then this is obviously the Nazis coming to power. But at the same time, every other European country is saying, damn, that's a real shame, isn't it? Poor guys. Not my fucking problem. They have one place to go. It's Palestine. And then after the war, where do the majority of Holocaust survivors go after they've left the camps? They go to Palestine. Because Johnson Reed is still in place. The Americans, I think they made a slight exemption. I think they passed like it was either an executive order or a congressional act that briefly opened their windows to Jewish displaced persons. But again, it was still a small number and it was brief. And then you've got the rise of Arab nationalism, which makes every Jew in the Middle East, bar like 3 of them, feel fucking unwelcome. And then they all run away as well. when Israelis hear Americans talking about this shit, like, is it not? I don't know. Does it not just feel like insanely fucking triggering? Like, I feel like if I was an Israeli Jew and I heard like American Jews talking like this and being like you know, Israel, like, it hasn't protected anyone. It didn't save any Jews. It didn't keep Jews safe. Like, bro, it's like the irony of someone who's like in the one country on earth that actually did absorb Jewish migrants and treat them like human beings, America, like the one country that did a good job at it. Looking at the other ones who didn't have that privilege and just being like, come on, guys, come on, bro. Fucking hell.
We were losers. Everywhere we went, they said, go away. Everywhere we went, they were killed. It sounds a lot like the Palestinians.
Adam,
because
I'm gonna
they
tell
are
you this.
people who are dispossessed, and everywhere they go, they get killed.
Adam,
and if we
listen.
can't see ourselves in that, it's a shanda.
Adam,
Hasan,
I'm gonna tell you something
Hasan.
really quick. I don't agree with Netanyahu. I disagree with a lot of things he's doing. I think he's acting. It doesn't matter. I think in certain aspects he's acting the same way as Hamas is. We've talked to him about this. Hamas.
No, there's no. This is what I mean. You're saying like he's acting.
No, but
Oh
Hasan,
no, don't let that one slide, Hasan. You're gonna get your mask off. Hamas are much more ethical than Israel. Say it.
You're disregarding the point.
No, it's definitely nothing to do with the fact that they're just less well armed, and so it's quite difficult to compare what they would do with the same level of power. But okay.
And Adam, you're not listening.
There's no comparison between Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas. That's my point. The point is that
You tried to compare them
Hamas.
earlier.
True. Hamas's death count is way lower because they have fuck all strength compared to the country that they attacked. Yeah, that's that can be expected. But they had military superiority over a fraction of Israeli territory for 12 hours, and they killed 1,200 people. In which 12-hour window in this war has Israel only had control over like a tiny little fucking pocket and managed to kill 1,200 people in 12 hours? I just want to, I don't know. I feel like you got to narrow these down. I just want to know what Hasan would say to this question. If the IDF delayed response, let's just say the response never came, what do you think Hamas would have done? What would Hamas have done? Would they have stopped at any point, or would they have just, why wouldn't they have just kept going? Let's say they reach all the way up to, they get like a few more guys up into Beersheba, or like there's a fourth wave or a fifth wave or a sixth wave. What happens if they reach Tel Aviv or Jaffa? Like, what happens if there's no military deterrent for Hezbollah? Like, would they not come in and help from the north as well? I thought that was the whole point. Obviously, they don't do that because they can't. They'd get tired at some point, surely. Because there's only one answer. They would have just kept going until Israel was destroyed. And that would have been, if they can kill 1,200 people in that one little area, they'd probably, you'd have like you'd have like hundreds of thousands dead. Maybe like in no time. Some estimates for Sabra Shatila are 3,500. Well, the highest estimate is 3,500. The consensus is more just like around 1,000. And that was over 48 to 72 hours. And that wasn't even the IDF who did the shootings. So yes, that is actually, yes, the one point where Israel was actually like close to that same death rate in such a small space of time. The one time where they matched Hamas was when it was Christians doing the killing. Yeah.
No, Benjamin Netanyahu is infinitely worse. That's the point. Israel is, the Israeli military and its conduct is a million times worse than anything Hamas could have ever done. It is hundreds, if not thousands of October 7s that Benjamin
Harvey, there's nothing you know about Sabra Shatila that I don't know. Shut the fuck up. Like, why? Why would you even pretend? Like, There's nothing you know about Sabra and Shatila that I don't know. It's just interesting that you had to go that far back and to that kind of dynamic, to that relation where it wasn't even the IDF doing the shooting to say this is the one time where Israel came close to the same death rate as Hamas. Even though, again, Israel had military superiority over that area for far longer than 12 hours. They had it for months, actually. They were occupying Lebanon for 18 years in the south. So no, I would not compare the IDF given their ratio of like how much control they have over an area versus how many people they kill. It's not a good comparison.
Yeah, I was done with superior firepower over the course of the last 2 years. There's a mass starvation happening. Israel is the much more powerful entity in this process, and it's backed by the most powerful country on the planet, the United States of America.
Yeah. I think bottom line, guys, on the Full Send podcast, we're willing to have anyone on the planet. That's just the way
only
it
way
is.
to think of it. All you have to think of it is in this way. You have the longest occupation in modern history, right? And you have a group of individuals that don't have a right to self-determination. They don't have a country, right? And it's been this way in Gaza since 1967. Okay, in Israel, it's a
Tibet's probably a longer occupation, but okay.
Country. They're in the United Nations. They can vote in their government. These people don't have those rights. And guess what? Right now, there's a fence around them, and they're trapped there. It's not it's not a one-on-one. You don't even have to Hasan
It's literally
Hamas is better than Israel. You don't even have to frame it that way. That's just the situation with the Palestinians
Hasan does.
and the Israelis,
Yeah.
right? Who are like living on either side of that fence. And it's just like, guys, like I get what you guys got to be fucking stressed as shit right now. But like it's just like
we're all good,
it's just
I don't think they care. What the fuck?
It's not have it like get in trouble for anything else.
You're right, Adam. I understand your point of view, though. We do a lot of comedy. We do a lot of fun stuff. So you're right. We actually definitely didn't need to do this. I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
There is no good purpose. There's no good purpose to interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu unless you're.
Why is Israel held so accountable for Sabra Shatila? People act like the IDF did the worst thing in history there, and ultimately it wasn't even directly the IDF. Well, it was directly Sharon mainly, right? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's the fact that it was like the Sharon had to lie just to get the thing authorized, right? He had to lie about the threat. He had to lie about his perception of how much of a danger the phalangists were at the time to civilians, because he knew they were. He just lied about it. He just lied. Yeah. He told other people that the phalangists were like out for blood because of Jamal's death, but then he told the cabinet that they were actually fine, that they were going to be above board. So yeah, he lied. He also lied about the number of armed militants in the region. There was in the camps. There was no evidence that there were 2,000 PLO fighters still there. The difference is that there was an inquiry in Israel, and there was like massive protests in Israel. I think the biggest protests of Israel's history at that time were against Sabra Shatila when it happened, because the civilians were so appalled by it. And yeah, it's also whereas like with Hamas, it's not like anyone had to lie to get October 7th to happen. It's not like anyone had to go behind anyone's back or give false intel or anything. Like the entirety of Hamas was completely all for it. They were all for it. Where does one of us get this information from? Times of Israel. What, you think my knowledge of Sabra Shatila is from Times of Israel? No, that's from the McBride Commission. Have you read the McBride Commission? Chocolate is good? That's a no, isn't it? It's a big fucking no.
You're like literally there to fucking laser him or directly arrest him and send him to The Hague, which is not going to happen under any circumstance, especially not inside of the White House. So the only thing that happens here, even if it's a failure overall because of how fucking how intensely disliked Benjamin Netanyahu is.
What commission? Doesn't even know what commission. What a fucking loser, man. Doesn't even know. I'm talking about Sabra Shatila, and you're like, where'd you get this facts from? Is that from Times of Mossad? If you don't know, just listen. Jesus Christ.
The goal on his end was to basically use your platform in the same way that they use CNN. So in a way, you guys turned into CNN.
I don't think that we've already talked about this, but I don't think just because we platform people, they fall for everything the guest says. And this is a perfect example of that.
No, I know that, and they clearly aren't.
Just go
and
read the
and people are going to be more mad at you guys as a consequence of like interviewing. Yeah, my point is that if you're asking me about the morality of
soundboard.
You fat ox.
It's so loud. It's like clipping loud. Oh my god. Maybe I can download it and fix it. That's 1,000 Jews killed. Bar Kokhba. Roman Jewish War. Pogroms in the Russian Empire. The Holocaust. All of Israel's wars and terror victims. Oh. Israel. Israel is a small number. The pogroms in the Russian Empire, what, from 1882 until, what, 1920? 1917? It's like 4 years, huh? Less than that. Oh, yeah. They're fucking mountains.
Of it, there were journalists that were implicated and also charged with crimes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Perfect example of that.
No, I know that, and they clearly
Like,
aren't.
just go
and
read the
people
comments.
are going to be more mad at you guys as a consequence of like interviewing. Yeah, my point is that if you're asking me about the morality of it, there were journalists that were implicated and also charged with crimes in the Nuremberg trials for literally participating and doing propaganda.
For fucking interviews? You fucking idiot. No, they weren't. The journalists who were charged and convicted at Nuremberg were people who were inciting fucking genocide. Not for doing propaganda. How can you live in this world where you're like so appalled by, you're saying, oh, they've killed 200 journalists in Gaza. It's like, but doing an interview with a fucking Netanyahu makes you think of Nuremberg trials or like criminal levels of propaganda. That's not true. That's not true at all. We know that's not true because we read about fucking journalists and the threshold by which they need to be military targets or found guilty of crimes, like war crimes. This is why you take notes. Look, where is it? It was here. It was the guy, Hans Fritzsche. This guy was a senior propaganda official. And he was at Nuremberg, and he was making propagandistic statements supporting and gassing up the war effort, okay, from within the government. And he was not found guilty of crimes at Nuremberg. Not like Julius Streicher, who's a newspaper, like a magazine editor, who was literally talking about genociding the Jews, and he was found guilty and hanged. You don't know anything. You don't know fucking anything. You're coming on here like pretending like you're some kind of academic, and the only thing that you seem to have fucking worked on is like this delivery, like I'm about to educate you on something. I don't know about you guys having a little a podcast interview with Netanyahu, but people were convicted at Nuremberg. No, they fucking weren't. Not for doing interviews. People in the government still didn't even cross that threshold. And that's what they say today as well, when they talk about journalists and whether or not they're targets. It's not just doing propaganda that makes you targetable or liable for like a war crimes charge. You have to be involved in incitement. It needs to be a direct hostility. Holy fuck, stop with the fucking Holocaust comparisons. You don't know anything about the Holocaust. The only thing you know about the Holocaust is that you get to use it occasionally, and you remember the names of some of the events, like the Warsaw Ghetto, so you can use it as a fucking bludgeon against half the Jews in the world in Israel. Fuck me. You know anything. Fuck.
Selfish yank.
Fuck me. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, maybe in this interview that Hasan hasn't even fucking seen, maybe they do actually gas up the fucking genocide, and they literally incite it and get to a point where they're literally like directing and inciting soldiers to go into Israel and commit war crimes and severe violations of the Geneva Convention. God, look at this. This was when they were talking about and the context of this was they were talking about the NATO bombing of Serbian radio and whether or not propaganda makes you a valid target. And the case law went back to Nuremberg. Statements that were propagandistic, but not found that they were intended to incite the commission of atrocities, but rather were aimed at arousing popular sentiment in support of Hitler and the war effort. So you arouse popular sentiment in support of Hitler and the German war effort, and Nuremberg didn't find that enough. And even the case law references that today. So no, I don't think these guys are going to end up in The Hague, bub.
Or the Nazis, right? So in that regard, if you were to ask, will there ever be a Nuremberg-style trial for Israel? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, that doesn't mean that the crimes are not comparable, and that doesn't mean that your moral culpability in this regard is not close to what those guys did. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be tried in the Nuremberg-style trials, but the moral culpability is still there for not. For conducting an interview such
for a fucking interview. Oh God, please, just which Nazi, which journalist, which non-Nazi, I guess, journalist was found guilty at Nuremberg for doing an interview? Fucking, he's so retarded. He's so fucking dense. Actual fucking sawdust behind this fucking pushing 40 ass skull. That's a joke, by the way. That's what he says about people.
I can definitely understand your perspective, Hasan, for sure. I just think that, that's just what we're going to do with the Full Send Pod. And I don't know, maybe we got to get a little better at grilling them, or maybe next time when we have a guest like this, we can hit up people like you, Hasan, and get what you would ask and stuff like that. But
do you know who did, actually? What was the phrasing here? Incite the commission of atrocities. If anything, someone who did come closer to that was Hasan when he was glazing the fucking Houthis for kidnapping civilians. But, you know. IMT held that although he made strong statements of a propagandistic nature, it was nevertheless not prepared to find that they were intended to incite the commission of atrocities. I'm so happy I took a note on that. Wow. God damn.
No, Benjamin Netanyahu is never entering the same room as someone like myself.
Obviously.
If I were to be in that room, he would not do this podcast with you.
But wait, Hasan,
or
why
maybe
would you
they would
terrified.
assassinate me.
He'd be terrified.
Hasan, why wouldn't you do someone from both sides?
As someone like myself. If I were to be in that room, he would not do this podcast with you.
Wait, Hasan,
or
why?
maybe they would
ask you something,
assassinate me.
Hasan.
Maybe they would assassinate me. You're so fucking cool, man. He's such a fucking dude. Wow. Netanyahu being like, oh no, I can't do it, guys. This guy knows what happened at the Nuremberg trials. Fucking hell.
Hasan, why wouldn't you do someone from both sides?
What do you mean?
Guys, we've already debated this.
But if you could do Netanyahu and do somebody else, why wouldn't you do that?
Well, I don't think that there's both sides in the situation. There is the perpetrators, like that's why I'm saying it's akin to interviewing Adolf Hitler. There is no.
Man, he's there as well. Like there is no JDAM in the world heavy enough to penetrate the fucking density of this fucking guy. It would just, you know what, you could literally drop the mother of all bombs and it would just fucking bend around him. Like that's how fucking dense this guy is. Okay.
There is no both sides in the situation. That's why I'm saying it's like interviewing a concentration camp survivor and then interviewing Hitler. You know what I mean? Is there both sides in the situation? No. Interviewing the leadership of the Jewish partisans in World War II versus interviewing Adolf Hitler.
Oh yeah, more fucking like completely disanalogous Holocaust references. Let's go. Yes.
One of his loyal advocates or whatever is not comparable. There are no both sides in a genocide. That's why it's a genocide. It's such a big crime that
even this fucking like phrase, this stupid fucking propaganda catchphrase is so stupid. If you even bothered to read what those people who allege genocide even say, like Amnesty, because we saw this when she was when the Amnesty rep was debating in Denmark, I think. Even in their conclusion, they say that it's not just when they call it a genocide, they're calling it genocide as part of a dual intention, not singular intention. They were saying that Israel's military campaign has two goals. One is genocide. The other is to pursue Hamas, which is a legitimate goal. So even in that case, if you want to appeal to the human rights organization, what the fuck, even they don't actually hold the same message as you. What they're saying is, fight Hamas all you want, just stop the genocide. Like, that's a different statement, though, because Hasan doesn't believe that. He thinks that Hamas and the fucking, the Jews in the striped pajamas getting fucking gassed are, one and the same, apparently. Fuck. Just everything. The Jewish partisans, they fought Nazi soldiers who were trying to gas and fucking murder them. Not civilians, hippie crusties in a fucking kibbutz rave. Ugh.
Even justify a genocide in retaliation to said genocide. It's the crime of all crimes.
Guys, I think you're getting in the weeds a little bit, right? It's not.
I'll be honest. Hasan makes a great
you guys are well known not for politics, right? And it's unless you're not gonna research more and get ready. Look, you're Rocky. That's just politics sucks, right? I got made fun of for liking it when I was a kid. It should go back to fucking being for losers, right? Everyone's into fucking politics now. It sucks. It's just you don't have to purport to that to know about it. And just leave it to fucking the fucking Wolf Blitzer. You know, it's
Adam, I do actually agree with that, but these two would obviously have to stop as well, right? Fucking hell.
Everything is content now.
Whatever fucking happened to Wolf Blitzer.
Me too.
He did?
No, he's still kicking. How dare you guys come for the Wolf?
Wolf Blitzer still buzzing around?
I don't know.
He's still at CNN, yes. But Wolf Blitzer also, ironically, literally worked for AIPAC before he did CNN.
Understands what's happening in the world, and you guys don't have to, because people love you for prank and lifestyle content.
Yeah,
you know,
that's where I think I'm gonna be honest. Adam, I think that's where you're a little soft.
What?
Yeah. No,
go back to smashing the cymbals together like a little monkeys that you are. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Guys, well, it was really nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, bro. We'll link up
Adam,
soon.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Are you in LA?
Hey, what up to Steve? No, I'm in New York.
New York? All right.
Adam, I'll see you, buddy.
Easy, bro.
Peace out, bro.
Take care.
Did he just shut off his laptop? That's so funny. Well, oh my God, he's such a fucking boomer.
That's actually what I want to ask you is because...
Wait, how do I... why is he still in the call?
Oh, I don't know, but he gets pissed at us. Understandably, he gets pissed at us for platforming. But that's what I'm trying to figure out is when are we supposed to say no? When are we supposed to not do certain things?
I mean, look,
when it's guys that Hasan doesn't like, obviously. Yeah, bring on the leader, bring on Naim Qassem, the leader of Hezbollah, bring on the Houthis, bring on Hamas, bring on the supreme leader. Unearth fucking Saddam Hussein. Talk to him. Why not?
There are certain people that that not everyone is equipped enough to be able to talk to, because that conversation, instead of being a productive one, turns into one where they could just do propaganda and use the platform that you have to get their message across.
They're irresponsibly platforming you as well, just like they did with Nick and with Myron and with Sneako. Yeah.
Principle for Nick Fuentes, for example. Except with Nick Fuentes, he hasn't. He's a neo-Nazi, but he hasn't done literal fucking crimes like Benjamin Netanyahu has, while also simultaneously being a neo-Nazi of a different sort.
Yes.
So it's even worse than someone like Nicholas Fuentes, and I don't think that Nicholas Fuentes is appropriate to also platform in this situation.
What do you think about the goal of the Full Send podcast to be to platform anybody? What do you think about that overall? If that's the direction we're gonna go, right?
The reason why I think it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I obviously can't fucking advocate for deplatforming, especially in this day and age, especially in this time and place, because a lot of these institutions that would otherwise be tasked with taking people. Hello? Oh, your camera pooped for a second. A lot of these institutions that are tasked with deplatforming people spend way more time deplatforming someone like myself, or at least trying to deplatform someone like myself, for having a consistent moral, anti-genocide, and anti-Zionist position than people who are actually anti-Semitic. They call me anti-Semitic, despite the fact that I'm not anti-Semitic. The reason why I would still choose not to platform neo-Nazis and things of that nature, regardless of how equipped I am at talking to them about these issues and being able to push back adequately, is
I'm
because
just thinking, like, trying to imagine the way that Hasan talks about the Holocaust and the way that he just said that really fucking stupid shit about Nuremberg. Seeing that, I think, would he be able to handle a Holocaust denier? Probably not. I don't think he'd stand a chance. Like, what the fuck? He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything about what the fuck happened. So equipped. Allow me to compare interviewing the prime minister to people who were hanged at Nuremberg for inciting genocide. Huh.
a lot of these guys are simply looking for any opportunity to get their message to a broader audience. They don't actually care about the truth. They don't actually care about coming across like good or bad. They just want to be heard, because every single time they go in front of a larger audience, they end up winning over some people in the margins to their side. Okay. And if you understand that they are not honest brokers here, that they don't like care about, back and forth discourse, then ultimately you're playing a role in allowing people to be recruited to that side. You're playing a role in getting more people to be recruited to neo-Nazis, to neo-Nazi groups.
I understand.
And I think that ultimately that is very dangerous.
We're gonna have both sides on. But
having both sides on doesn't actually make up for that. Is my point.
I agree with you too. Hasan, I've told you.
And then
many
there's
times.
also no comparison to Benjamin Netanyahu on the other side anyway.
I've told you multiple times. Me and Kyle disagree with a lot of things Netanyahu has done. We do not agree. We stand neutral. But I mean, I understand. The whole problem is platforming, but that's why we're gonna have from each side a representative that's gonna fucking tell us.
It's so fucking cringe as well, because it's so like, how obvious is it? Like, and again, he's hiding the power level by not recommending people that they should interview on the conflict, right? But it's so transparent that like he is just upset that they aren't platforming his propaganda more often. That's all it is.
Like, you know what I mean?
The best possible thing you guys could have done before this interview, I mean, the best possible thing would have been to not have this interview at all. But the second best possible thing, if you were like adamant about having this interview, would have been to potentially bring someone that is knowledgeable before you did the interview, so it didn't just simply, so that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't use you guys like a fucking fleshlight, is what I'm saying, to just make himself look like not the demon that he is, but instead of a personable person. Like, here I have something here that was sent to me from an excerpt from the interview that you guys conducted, where you asked him if he prefers Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. And it's really interesting because like people have yelled at me for doing this with like a dude in Yemen that they claim is a fucking terrorist.
That you claimed was a Houthi, you fucking liar. You introduced him as a Houthi. Stop rewriting history. Stop rewriting history. Stop it. Every time someone does this, like this kind of like lying like this with this omission, I feel like why do I have to do this? Why am I now forced to go and look for Hasan actually introducing that fucking kid as a Houthi? I think it's actually not even in the segment on his YouTube channel anymore. I couldn't find it there. I had to find it.
Okay, this is a stupid question.
This is on my segment. Did I introduce it right from the beginning? Did we go right from the top? Houthi. So when does he come in? When does he start gooning? Holy shit! It's on the transcript. What? Oh, I know. It's in the content nuke. Definitely there. 3.7 million views. Not bad, not bad. Okay, Houthi. Oh, it's when he calls it journalism. Yeah, okay.
Beautiful eyes. They call him Timothy Chalamet because he's a Houthi.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean?
You called him a rebel as well, not just like a...
Excuse me. Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism. It's so weird. It's so weird. Motherfuckers want journalism, and when I'm trying to do journalism, they go, why are you doing that?
And now he's just fucking lying about this. He's like saying that everyone else calls him a Houthi. Fuck you, man. You brought him into that interview on the pretext that you thought he was a Houthi. And you interviewed him like you would a Houthi. You fucking came all over his fucking little barely legal face. Because kidnapping civilians who have nothing to do with Israel makes you happy for some reason. Yeah, every time someone lies like this, by the way, because it's a lie, it's a deliberate lie by omission. When people do this, they are murdering a part of the world, right? Like it's little things like this that just multiply every fucking day. And this is the reason that people just wander the earth eternally fucking demoralized and confused. And that's why they feel like they need to like cozy up to some very simplistic like narrative that makes the world make sense again, because otherwise it's just way too confusing. The fact that I had to literally go out of my way to find that timestamp just because he did that fucking Weasley little cunt. Fuck, I hate him so much. Whatever.
Right. Okay, that dude is a 19-year-old in Yemen. He has no power. He holds no power on the planet. He is at any given moment.
It just came up in the conversation.
At any given moment, he could be fucking assassinated by American bombs, by Saudi bombs, or any other. Like, he is one of the least powerful people on the planet. This Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the most,
or by people who are sick of being persecuted by the Houthis, or by like a Baha'i civilian, or by a Christian, or by one of the last Yemeni Jews, if there's still any.
Powerful people on the planet. So in this opportunity, instead of humanizing him, you guys could have had someone that is knowledgeable.
He risks
enough.
being assassinated by the security by the security staff on one of the boats they're trying to fucking commandeer. Oh fuck!
Not to ask that question, and instead, when you say like, "Are you starving children?" and he says no, the person could turn around and say,
"Yeah, no." I mean, Hasan, you make a great point, and I understand your comparisons to Hitler. I see your perspective, and yeah, I think just with the Folsom pod, like I told you, we're just not here to choose the guests. We're gonna have anyone on, even if it is a wanted war criminal, and we're just gonna let the viewers decide. And I think they spoke very clearly, and I don't think just because we platform people that people fall for the person's message.
Yeah,
like I don't. That's just the bottom line. Like, go look at the comments.
We give you an opportunity.
Like,
I don't think that you guys would do that. Is my point. Like, if there, because there's no other.
But
you already said you wouldn't. You already said you
I
would
think we're
not.
just
If
giving
given the opportunity, you would not interview Adolf Hitler. So there is a limit to it. Like, there's an upper limit.
We didn't say that. We said it's hypothetical. We said it's hypothetical.
But also, Hasan, it's crazy.
I think it's evident that just because we platform someone, just because Nelk sits next to them, doesn't mean we agree with everything they say or do. One, because we definitely don't. And number two, just because we platform someone, it doesn't. Our viewers are fucking smart. Like, go read the comments. Like,
yeah, but also
it's proof that just because we have someone on, it doesn't necessarily mean a W for the guest.
Hasan, I want to point out
no,
one thing.
I understand that. There are plenty of people that I disagree with, that I communicate with. But there's a difference between, there's an upper limit to it, is my point. And that upper limit is like far past when it comes to fucking someone like Benjamin Netanyahu. My limit is far before Benjamin Netanyahu. It's someone like Nicolas Fuentes.
It's just anyone who could actually challenge you on anything, really. That's probably where your bar is. Your bar is anyone who's not a drama creator that you think you can defeat, or a teenager. Yeah.
Or someone like Andrew Tate. But even if I were to engage with people like
Hasan
that,
did debate Andrew Tate. He did debate Andrew Tate, and he won as well. Like, yeah.
It depends on the platform that they have and how much prominence and how much influence they hold over a large enough audience. Because I feel like it's unproductive, it's counterproductive if they hold no staying power whatsoever. So I'm not saying that it's bad to interview Benjamin Netanyahu, but if you were going to do that, it's such a important task that you have to take it seriously, and you have to have someone who is knowledgeable to be able to push back. Because
you're missing the point. You're missing the point. As you know, that they're going to be very specific with who they allow to interview them. We've already covered that, right? Is his PR team going to allow him to go on a Hasanabi fucking live stream? No. Probably not.
No, of course not.
Someone that's had Trump on 3 times.
No, I think. Listen, I think we're gonna wrap this up soon. It's fucking.
Wait, last thing I want to ask.
12 a.m. We're in Europe right now.
Can I do one more thing? Sure. Hassan, last thing. We text off stream. Obviously, we are boys. We talked about lifting together, hooping together. So there are things that we can't agree on, but when it comes to this stuff, it creates animosity. So I just want to point that out.
Okay, but all right, but you have to. There's a reason why there's 6,000 comments here. I'm looking at the comments right now, and everyone's cooking you guys.
We know. Hassan, we're aware. But
I mean, that should be evident that the Full Sun podcast has people on, and the viewers decide.
These guys don't really have that much of a defense.
All right, good luck, guys.
I understand
you should have Gabor Mate, or Gabor Mate is a Holocaust survivor.
Steiny text you, and if you'd give us some suggestions on who to have.
They always do this as well. They're always like, okay, how do I wheel out like the one like the one Holocaust survivor we can find? Oh God.
Will you? Appreciate it.
Okay, I will.
Hassan, text me the
I will
names.
send you people to interview. But if you were to ask me ahead of time, I would have told you not to do this interview for the record. I only found out after.